Hello.
You look really good in that blue.
Oh, thank you.
Like you look in the lighting and like the yellow underneath. Like,
Oh,
oh no, that's actually just the
no,
your
that
neck
that is
has the
my
good lighting on it.
this is my skin. You're
Okay,
looking.
well, regardless,
I've
yeah, you look really good in that hoodie.
thank you. I've improved the lighting of my setup is what I did. I've changed the lighting of the camera and things like that. I fixed the colors, and I did some stuff up here to make the colors look better.
I'm a little surprised you actually spent a good amount of time doing that. I figured you'd be spending like most of the last week like getting all of your affairs in order.
Getting my affairs in order.
Well, yeah, because it's it's today, man.
It's today.
It's the rapture.
The rapture.
It's today. Haven't you been paying attention?
Uh-huh.
Do you not have your stuff set up for the rapture? That is definitely happening today?
Is this Left Behind? Are we doing Left Behind? Because Left Behind was a long time ago, and I haven't heard about that in a long time.
I actually don't know what that is.
Oh, Left Behind is the series of books that were all about the rapture, and it was about like what happens when everybody gets raptured away and the life of those who are left behind. You know?
No, the
Um,
rapture is today for realsies.
okay. Um, yeah, the Left Behind book series. Which is, as the name implies,
You know.
the world after everybody goes to heaven.
Oh.
Okay. September 23rd, huh? Yeah?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Gonna
Interesting.
fly up into fucking space any second now.
Interesting. Okay.
In fact, I think
Um,
the dog just ran away to do the rapture. Can you give me just like literally 1 second?
yeah. Go do what you gotta
Hey, what
do.
are you doing over there?
Uh-huh.
You're not supposed to be over there. What are you
Okay.
doing?
The rapture. Well, um, that is uh that is not dissimilar.
False alarm.
Yeah? Yeah?
False alarm.
False
Dog
alarm.
didn't ascend to heaven yet.
Okay. Well, listen.
He's just trying to break into a trash can because he's a piece of shit.
Well, that's okay. Those who are not going to, those who are going to experience the rapture, what follows is going to be the basis of Seventh-day Adventism. Because we've been through this
Oh,
before,
cool.
right? So, the second advent of Jesus Christ was expected to happen on October 22nd, 1844.
Mhm.
But that never happened. And so what followed was a time known as the Great Disappointment.
Oh, that's just great. Yeah, I love that.
And quite literally, the Great
Oh,
Disappointment
shucks.
led to a fracturing of the believers into a bunch of different splinters and groups, and everyone went, wait, what did we get wrong? And some people went, no, it wasn't this day. I forgot to carry the two. It's actually
There's a
this
lot of math
day.
involved here.
Exactly. And so a bunch of different, people went their own ways with it. But one of those that one of the interpretations changed enough that Ellen G. White, one of the authors of an original book of the Three Angels' Messages, then went on to form the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So all I'm trying to say is I've been here before.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I know what it's
Well,
about.
I mean, here's
And
hoping.
I have I have experienced the great disappointment before.
Oh,
Right.
darn.
Yes, the new version for our current time can be known as the Great Cope.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the rapture's been delayed till Thursday. My mistake. That's the 25th.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
okay.
alternate date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's
There were 2 dates
always
this time.
so there's always there's always somebody who goes, no, we messed up the math. There's always that person. There's always that guy, the guy who's
Yeah.
like, no, you guys, you messed it up.
Dude, I love that guy. That's my
Uh-huh.
favorite guy in the whole thing.
We were totally right. It's just there was a simple mistake on the equation.
It's arithmetic error. It's
know?
a hack could happen to anybody.
Yeah. And then there's there's those who, the getting your affairs in order means a lot of different things to different people. And there's those who are like, yeah, I'm selling all my possessions. I'm getting rid of everything.
I've been watching that go down, and it's
I'm putting on my
You
robes and
said,
I'm going up to
mhm.
the mountaintop and I'm just gonna sit here and wait, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
um,
mm.
and then you get like I've talked about it a little bit before, but do you know the Kevin Smith movie Red State?
I've heard of it.
Okay,
Haven't
so
watched.
okay, I'm gonna if you have it's a very I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly like loved it, and I'm gonna spoil it for it's an old movie, so if anyone hasn't seen it and you want
No.
to, don't listen. But it's basically the equivalent of like a bunch of characters that get stuck with a murderous Westboro Baptist church,
Mhm, mhm.
right? And um yeah, if you didn't like it, that's fine. I enjoyed it, especially with my particular background. Seeing a bunch of insane religious zealots going nuts in this thing was wild. But one of the things they do at one point is, while they're trying to escape from the murderers, someone makes it away, and during their final shootout, where the survivors and the family are all going nuts, there is a moment where the sound of trumpets, horns, and brass fill the air, and
Aw.
everyone that's like amongst the cultists drop all their weapons and go, "Oh my god, it's happening!" And you just hear "Bwah," and it's like
What was gonna happen?
it's a deafening sound of trumpets and horns, and I had a proper pants shit moment in the theater going, are they actually doing it in this movie? Are you seriously gonna have this
That's
this
so
this
awesome,
insane
actually.
crazy movie just go, yeah, and then it happened, right? And so there's a pit in my gut. There's a feeling of just like anxiety and quease in this one moment because up to this point, especially, remember the entirety of my life has been, but what if you're wrong? But what if
But
one
hey,
day it happens though? What if it's
was
real? Right?
was like that pit in your stomach part of like where you was part of that? Like, what if that sound you're hearing isn't from the movie? What if it's coming from outside the theater
No,
and
I mean,
it's for real?
no, it scratched at a real life feeling that anyone who's grown up in a church and then left it feels, which is, but what if suddenly one day you hear the trumpet sound because you've been told for your entire childhood that's going to happen sometime, you know? And
Dude, I gotta tell you, I did not grow up in a religious household. Like my mom went to church.
yeah,
I occasionally have that feeling of like when I encounter like the power out in the world, like or around those types of people. I have that moment where like, oh man, though, what if like right now?
yeah. And so like this is not going to be relatable for everybody, but if you know, you know. So when the movie has this moment and it plays the sound of the second coming and everyone goes, "What the fuck?" for real, and then all the crazy cultists stop, drop their weapons and start praising, and they're so happy and they're like, "We did it. We hung out and we waited just long enough, and yeah, we did all these horrible things, but we did it in the name of God, and it's going to be great because he's about to come back." And then in that time when they start just giving up and being happy, the rest of the people escaping and then reinforcements show up and they just start taking out the cultists like, fuck this, and they top them all off, just bang, fuck you guys. And then it turns out one of the people that escaped went to like a nearby area where there was a brass horn section that was practicing for an orchestra, and then they just blasted
Oh no, they
speakers.
tricked
They
them.
blasted speakers as loud as possible from the farm next door.
You can't do that. That's not
And they
fair.
just lined the skies up with the sound of the second coming, and
Oh, that's a trick.
man, like,
Oh, that's immoral. Don't do that.
it was so
Oh, how
sick. It
could you
was
do it?
crazy. Like, there's a point where one of them just gets like blown up or whatever, and the person, their partner, is like doesn't even care because like, who cares? God's here. It's all gonna work out. It's crazy, but it's that moment, So I think of that. I think of the Millerites and the Great Disappointment and the people that are trying to calculate the dates. Um,
Well, apparently it's no longer today. Apparently it's Thursday, so you got plenty of time to do whatever you need to
Sell your
do.
stuff, get it all, Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
I got to
I
see
mean,
on TikTok a really genuinely incredible interaction, which was I just sold my car. I don't need it anymore. I'm ready. and then like a couple swipes later was a older woman going, "Hey, guy who sold me your car, I'm not giving it back to you on Friday. Like it is my
Oh
car now."
man, damn! Sell all your Rapture coin, all your like whatever shit coins you've been holding on to. Now's the time, guys. Man, that's great. I'd love to see the equation on that, because there's always a point where I don't know how close you've ever gotten to like staring at where and
Assuming
why,
this,
but like
there's always an assumed number at
yes,
some point in the beginning that changes the formula.
So what you've got to do is you got to go back to Revelation at some point, and you got to find one of the books, and you got to find a chapter and verse, and then you have to take a random word and turn that into a number. And then start from there.
Because there's no dates and times on any of it, man.
No, but if you go back to the Greek translation, which was then translated from the Aramaic before the King James version, excuse me, every Aramaic letter also has a numeric value. So the whole thing of like names and numbers existing means that they can both be the same. So if you're into numerology and you're one of those people that tries to connect those things already, boy, oh boy, does the original Bible have infinite madness well for you to dive down, you know, because you can just tie numbers to everything, to every word, to every meaning. And those numbers
sounds like a fun diversion.
Yeah. Those numbers can be anything, you know, never mind the like arbitrary sense of counting that, you know, is different depending on where you live in the world. It's like we've got metric and we've got imperial. We've got, you know, the calendar is pretty much the same, but, you know, does daylight savings account for things? Does the rapture start earlier in Japan?
Don't even get me started on stellar drift, okay? Does the
rapture appear in does Greenwich Meridian time denote when the rapture occurs, or are we going with East Coast, you know? So yeah, anyways, all right, what about a leap year? That's a great question.
What about a leap year? Well, leap years aren't real, they're fake.
I saw something a while ago, and I don't know if it's, speaking of fake, I don't know if it's real or not, but it was upsetting because it was a thing that said like, if we adjusted one thing, we'd never need leap years. And like it was like instead of the every 4 year kind of thing, what was it? There's a simple solution to not needing a leap years.
And it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, people come up with a better system, and you're like, okay, that's a better system. It doesn't matter. Everyone on the whole planet uses this other system.
Yeah, you know, it's too late. It is definitely too late. And like, you know, we're already in it. But like kind of like a farmer's almanac shit and daylight savings, you know, after the fact, there's like people come up with ways to like, we can completely fix this.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, anyway,
it's fine. You don't need to fix it. Not important.
How's it going?
Speaking of rapture, it's going bad because I finished my sub goal and finished all of BioShock Infinite and Burial at Sea
to Rapture. Indeed. So I always remember being told. I remember I was talking to my actually, yes, I remember who told me this. I have a friend that told me that Burial at Sea was the best part of Infinite, and
that is a not uncommon statement from the time.
And that it was you know, it was a cool return to the original series, and was handled much better than the base game was.
So we've talked and mocked a good deal of BioShock Infinite's base plot over the years. The game is now 13, 14 years old. I feel very confident talking about my issues with Burial at Sea in more detail than you would otherwise see. I'm gonna just put it in a bullet that will hit you right in your heart. Burial at Sea is the Parasite Eve third birthday of the BioShock series.
Oh
it is
my
the Star
God.
Ocean till the end of time of BioShock.
Oh my God, that's fighting words. Wow, that's violence. You chose violence. That's a crazy thing to say.
You know, you know what? You know what's a crazy
Wow.
thing to say? Friend of the show, Gene Park, reporter over at the Washington Post, was watching my Burial of the Sea Part 2 stream and threw down in the chat for realsies and clarified he totally meant it later. I have not felt this sick since I had the cancer.
Okay, Gene gets to use that one.
He's just holding it in his fucking pants pocket, just ready to pocket stand it at something.
That's a nice one you can drop when the time is right. So what the fuck?
Okay, so we have two paths to go down here, right?
Oh, is it?
One is okay. How does it actually physically play? Which is because BioShock Infinite has the two arguments. One is that the story doesn't make any sense. And is actually poorly written and not actually as interesting as it thinks it is. And the second of which is that BioShock Infinite actually plays way, way worse than BioShock 1 and 2, which it definitely does.
Wait, hold on, stop, pause. The two arguments are this game's story is garbage, and no, the gameplay is garbage. That's the two sides to stand on.
That's the two sides of the story. Yeah, that's the two sides of the coin.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure. Yeah,
because it's one of those things where people are like, oh man, the story was so mind blowing, and they go, yeah, maybe it was kind of dumb, but I had so much fun playing it, right? And then you're like, no, you didn't. Like, it's one of the few things I actually feel like really confident in saying, like, no, you didn't. You were 12.
Okay.
Like, that's why. So one of the big I'll go with gameplay first, right? So one of the big problems that's happening in BioShock Infinite is you only have two guns at any given time, and that's weird, and that sucks. And the skyhook stuff is like really, really like underutilized, and also not actually that big of a deal. Elizabeth just throws you ammunition whenever you need it. You know, it's all the elements that were made interesting about BioShock 1 and 2 are just gone. You have way, way, way less options. All the vigors and plasmids that you get in BioShock Infinite, I think like 60-70% of them are stuns. The Crow is a stun. Undertow is a type of pulling stun.
Black stun, blue stun, red stun, yellow stun.
Yeah, it's and one's a grenade. Like they're very boring. They're very dull. So overall, it's like a massive step down, right? So we get to BioShock Burial at Sea, BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea, of which there are two parts. It's part 1 and part 2. They're totally separated. There's story continuity, but like gameplay wise, you're not like carrying your gear in from one to the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
In BioShock Burial at Sea, part 1, you go back to Rapture, and you're like, wow, Rapture looks really cool. It's really interesting to be in Rapture before it falls apart, right? It's before the New Year's, so it's actually like a normal place. It looks gorgeous. And you do your walk and talk, and you hear, little Rapture-isms and people arguing about the free market and just being a whole bunch of stupid hypocrites. And you start to run into like gameplay contrivances that ruin the I'm going back to Rapture thing. So Booker, who you are playing as in Burial at Sea Part 1, just has a couple of the BioShock Infinite vigors. He doesn't have plasmids. He has the ones from BioShock Infinite.
Okay.
And you just buy them in you can buy a couple extra in a vending machine, and they're the ones from BioShock Infinite. They are not the equivalents from Rapture. It's not Electrobolt, it's Shock Jockey. And it works like Shock Jockey. And it acts like Shock Jockey and all that stuff. Okay. So all of a sudden you're like, that's weird.
Okay, so just gameplay mechanics from Infinite are just dropped into Rapture.
Yeah, and then you walk over to a dead body, and he goes, oh, cool, an air grabber. And Elizabeth goes, you mean a skyhook? He goes, nah, air grabber. The kids down at the docks use them to ride the rails. And so I guess Rapture just had sky rails under the sea the whole time.
Okay.
And they just transplant the sky rail thing directly into the levels.
So lazy fitting into the engine, into the system. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And they give you your weapon wheel back. And in order to incentivize you using your weapon wheel, you get like no ammunition at any point. So you have to constantly change guns because you are literally carrying around like 5 handgun bullets at maximum
Oh,
the whole DLC.
oh, but it lets you switch between all the
But
weapons
you
like
let you switch
before.
between different guns.
Okay.
They do weird stuff, like every gun you get is the gun from Infinite and not the gun from BioShock 1 or 2, because that's what they had ready in the engine. And from an architectural standpoint, it looks like Rapture's gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
right? Rapture's
Mm-hmm.
an incredible location. And one of the things that I said in one of the final parts of doing BioShock Infinite was that um, Rapture and Columbia are not equal in their art design, because Columbia is this beautiful, gorgeous city among the clouds, and Rapture is the city under the sea. But the difference is that in Columbia, you often go into the interiors of buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and it ceases to be a city in the sky. It's just the interior of a building.
Yeah, true.
There aren't actually very many windows that are blown open that let you really show it off, but even then, you'd usually only just see the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every single room in everything to do with BioShock 1 or 2 is like it's leaking. There's busted pipes. There's a
Mm-hmm.
wall caved in with water flowing in. Like it is overtly underneath the ocean, and you can't escape it in any place. Which is why it gets super weird when you start playing BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea, and they forgot some of the design ethic that went into BioShock 1 and 2, because it's actually Columbia spaces with a BioShock 1 coat of paint on top of them. It has huge open air atrium spaces everywhere. It's like lots of Colombian, like super wide, super broad, super
Oh,
tall architecture,
yeah.
which just happens to be under the ocean. And it's like
Y-
this feels inconsistent. This feels like really like this doesn't fit.
No, like there's most of the spaces you were in were submarine tunnels, and it was very claustrophobic. And every once in a while, it would open up into like a larger space, but that was holy shit. There's a
Like
big
the
atrium
Kashmir
for a reason.
restaurant in BioShock 1 that has like the big window in front of
Mm-hmm.
the rich people seats. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like the largest window in like the
Mm-hmm.
fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's a high-end restaurant that spent lots of time getting that like bubble thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Um
remembering a lot. I am remembering a lot of Infinite being like walking down the street outside, you know,
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
and and then like switching, and then yeah, going interior for some sections.
extended periods of time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Um you fight a big daddy. They don't do it to you like they did it in in Infinite. You do get to fight a big daddy.
cool, cool, cool.
It's not really a big daddy. It looks like one and it has some of its moves, but it's not. It's a handyman with a big daddy skin on top of it.
Ah,
And I know this. There's a clip out there. I could link it to you, but it's a minute long. When the big daddy showed up, I threw Bucking Bronco at it, and it lifted the big daddy off the ground and stunned it for 2-3 seconds. And then I unloaded a full, like literally all my handgun animation into it, and handgun ammunition into it. And then it fell down, and then I hit it with Bucking Bronco, and I switched to a different gun and emptied the whole clip into it. And then I hit the ground, and I Bucking Broncoed it again and again and again and again. And I stun locked it from 0 to death, like I touch of deathed it with my BioShock Infinite stun. And
mm,
I got like 2 hits on, and it was exactly the same technique that I used fighting the handyman. And it's like BioShock Infinite's biggest problem, like more than its story, is that tons of its moves are stuns, and enemies can't actually break out of stuns for long enough to not get re-stunned. Like there's no stun decay on anything, and you can stun people while they are inside stuns.
yeah,
And you
okay.
can stun people when they hit the floor after being stunned. So you can just stun lock them. When I finished Infinite, I had the crow power up where you throw crows at people and birds attack them and they get locked in place. They get locked in place for like 45, 50 seconds. And if they died while being attacked by birds, their corpse became a crow trap that if any enemy
Mm-hmm.
came within 5 feet, they would also get attacked by birds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I discovered, and people who watched it live got to see this, or the YouTube archive. The Murder of Crows power is so wide, it's actually wider than your view. So it is like a 15-foot wide rectangle that advances from your character and just stun locks like literally every single person that could be in front of you in an area.
Okay. So basically, like, the return to Rapture is not so much a return to Rapture as it is, again, just like shoving the skin on top of everything, but the gameplay
Yeah, it's
problems
like, hey,
still
do you want
remain
some more
there.
Bioshock Infinite levels that happen to look like Rapture?
Wearing the skin, kind of like, well, it's kind of like Lisa the Painful characters that
Yeah.
just the flesh ripped over it. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
So that.
it's really disappointing on like a
Mm,
mechanical standpoint. And that's the first DLC. Um, the second DLC plays way, way worse.
mm,
Like the big finale of Bioshock Infinite story is by far the worst playing part of the game. You lose you're playing as a new character. You lose your regenerating Halo shield. So you're down to just health. You're given almost no arms and ammunition. And to deal with that, you're going to be doing stealth sequences. And they're shit.
fun.
They're shit.
Amazing.
So you're playing a much weaker,
Yeah.
less durable version of the character that also has to do stealth sequences
Sick.
that are terrible.
Sick.
Um, it like from a gameplay perspective, it's really frustrating. I did the thing that I very rarely do. I got to about 60-70% and I went, fuck this, and turned the difficulty down to the easiest.
Okay.
And was like, nah, I just want to see what happens because this plays like shit.
Okay. Okay.
So really genuinely not fun to play,
Yeah.
like even compared to the base game.
I saw, as the discussion has been going on about this since you returned to it, I saw someone kind of point out that, like, one of the simplest things about the original Bioshock games that worked super well was the goal was really clear. You were trapped in this underwater submarine libertarian hellhole. Escape.
And it was a nightmare. There are monsters everywhere.
Just get the fuck out. That's it.
Yeah,
And
I saw that thread as well.
yeah, versus in Colombia where it's unclear and you're leaning into it and you're trying to find the people and the motivations. You're trying to find her, but it's not quite. It doesn't have that same spark that's driving you forward as you go through it.
I don't know if I talked about it here, but I talked about it at length when I was streaming it. Where one of the first things Elizabeth does when you run into her in her tower is open up a portal to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the ambulance almost hits her.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the whole game, you're like, we could just leave. Like you could just do that. We could just leave. We just go anywhere. Like like 60% of the Bioshock Infinite's plot is like, we got to get an airship to leave, but you could just leave. You could just leave like that. And
what was the reason
she
why?
says,
Yeah, what was the?
Oh, I always get brought back. I always feel drawn back because of my family. But she doesn't know anyone, and she's the only person she's ever met in her life is Songbird, and she hates Songbird. So like it just doesn't make any sense. Like you could just leave at any point. It would be no problem, right?
Because I do remember that portal, and I don't remember what the contrivance was against it. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, for a gameplay perspective, it's really bad. It's really, really terrible. It is by far the worst of all the gameplays between all of them and all their DLCs. So that's the bedrock
so then,
that the following statements are going to rest on.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think it is then that makes that such a common sentiment that people say that's the best part of Bioshock Infinite? Is it
because
simply
Rapture is an incredibly cool location.
Is it just the nostalgic return to the location?
Absolutely,
and
100%.
and the feeling behind
100%.
that? Yeah, okay.
Because now we're going to talk about the story. And you're going to have to reevaluate the person that told you like their taste as to them saying like that was the best part of Bioshock Infinite. So I'm gonna spoil the Bioshock Infinite base game, and I'm gonna spoil the DLCs here because there's way too much to talk about without by dancing around it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So be warned. I'm gonna talk about it. So do you remember? Do you remember Ken Levine? And I know you do because we joked about it last week. Being like, no, don't do the porn on
Don't
the
do it.
Elizabeth.
No, don't.
Very wrong to do.
Yeah.
Very bad. So we're gonna start out by Elizabeth being visibly older and having like gotten a BBL and breast implants. Like she's packing it in. It's crazy. It's
Hey,
ridiculous.
hey,
Wearing what is canonically a prostitute's fetish outfit. Like you find an audio log from the sex worker she stole the outfit from.
what?
As she like literally breasts boobily around and heaves her bosom.
How much time later has passed from
In game or like
in
in the
game?
real world?
In game.
A half hour.
Oh, it's just okay. Okay, we're
No,
just
sorry, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months later.
okay. So just the Elizabeth art asset has been updated to breast boobly around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
can
Okay.
get, you know what? I can burial at sea Elizabeth. Let me just get a photo of this. Yeah, let's just, here you go. This is a perfect example of her new design. Just absolutely just her cup size is bigger
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
she's doing the noir dame stuff
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Man,
So
see? All right.
you're playing as Booker in Burial at Sea, part 1, which right away means that everything that you ever said to defend the not you but the royal you to defend the ending of Bioshock Infinite is wrong because the drowning at the baptism didn't work because there's more Bookers because it's infinite, right?
So you just jump
And
into it.
then
You just jump into a different one.
yeah, you're just jumping. You're just playing as Booker and Rapture. Um, and the entirety of Burial at Sea Part 1 is Booker knows this little girl who got disappeared, and they suspect she got turned into a little sister, and Elizabeth wants to help him find her. So you're going to different parts of Rapture to try and track her down. You run into Sander Cohen.
Okay. I see. I would have always assumed, without knowing like how it gets set up or why, that this was like in an alternate reality before all the shit that happened at the end of Infinite went down. There was a Booker that was in Rapture, you know, and then the Elizabeth jumping portal shit can work into that in a particular moment of climax.
That would be much more interesting than what I'm about to tell you.
Well, shit. Fuck. That's what
So this was a constant thing that happened. Is I would be like, I wonder if this, and then the thing that I would mention would be dashed against the rocks, and they would go, no, here's the dumbest shit you could imagine. So the long and short of it is that the reason why Elizabeth traveled to Rapture in 1958, this version of Rapture anyway, to track down Booker DeWitt, who is definitely Booker DeWitt, is because after the baptism drowning, he is the last one that got away. He was the last Comstock / Booker that got away. How'd he get away?
how'd he get away?
Shut up. Shut up.
But the whole point of that moment is that every branch.
No, this one got away. This one did. He was in Colombia and then he left and he hid in Rapture. And the reason he hid in Rapture is because you reenact the scene where he's grabbing Elizabeth through the portal. But this time, instead of her pinky, he fucks up and her head gets chopped off. And we get to get an implied baby decapitation. Which sucks. And Elizabeth has traveled here to this rapture so she can take her revenge on him because he's the last and the worst of all the Comstocks. Just doesn't make any sense at all. And how does she take her revenge on him? Well, you go on this whole, instead of like walking into his office and just shooting him in the face with a gun, which would totally be viable and she could just do. They go on this long quest so they can track down the little sister that he failed to save, and she can like gloat about it, and then literally lock the little sister in like an oven and cook her so that he freaks out. And while that's happening, Elizabeth's like, see, you fuck, and then a Big Daddy kills him. And it's like wildly psychotic and cruel.
What the fuck?
For the Elizabeth character.
What the fuck?
It is absolutely like fucked. Like, instead of just taking her revenge on him, she like cooks a little sister in like a microwave hallway.
Jesus
and like
Christ.
as the little girl is like screaming to be let out of like the because they heat up the vents in the
yeah.
and she's like screaming to come out. It's like interspersed with like, oh, here's how little baby Elizabeth got decapitated. By the way, this one booker got away though. Even though you got all the bookers, this one got away.
Is this in Fallen Rapture or like Peak Rapture?
So this is actually a really good point. So this takes place in about a week before the New Year's Eve, where it all popped off.
Okay.
And this is taking place in Fontaine's department store, where Andrew Ryan has taken Fontaine and all of his goons and just thrown them at the bottom of the ocean, and they're in jail. Like, they can't get out. They're just stuck in the sunken version of Fontaine's housewares department, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pre-Crisis Rapture, but the part you're in is like a fucked up jail / department store. So that's why it's all torn to shit, like you would expect from a Bioshock game, right? So you're like, okay, that was absolute psycho behavior from Elizabeth.
Yeah.
She later on goes to say that she spent months performing for Sander Cohen so she could find out where the little sister was, so she could trick Booker into going to go get her so she could shame him, when Booker has like a available office off like a main plaza that she just knows where it is. Like, the whole point of her like finding the girl and then showing off, and he gets his memories back, and you fuck, and then a Big Daddy kills him. It's like it's super weird and psycho behavior. It's absolutely crazy, and she's super evil.
And so the narrative then shifts at that point.
That's right. So that's the end of Burial Sea Part 1, in which at the end of Burial Sea Part 1, Elizabeth has taken her revenge against the final Comstock, a concept that invalidates the entirety of the main game story. Doesn't make any sense at all. And so we start up Bioshock Burial at Sea 2, in which we get to see a nice little version of Paris, which has like a child dancing around in Paris holding a gigantic baguette over his head, like what I think Americans think is happening in France.
The postcard France that Japan believes in.
That's right. And then turns out that's like a dream or like a parallel, whatever, right? And then Elizabeth snaps out of it. And Burial at Sea Part 1 is like pretty bad. Burial at Sea Part 2 is the actual, like, this is the kill shot. So what we discover is that after Booker got killed by the Big Daddy, the one that I stun locked to death in like 2 seconds, he gets killed in the cutscene. After that happened, and she took her revenge on the final Booker, the Big Daddy turned around and immediately killed her. Like, instantly. Like, just saw she was there and went, and crashed her through a wall and impaled her on a beam, and she's dead.
Sure.
And then off camera, the Elizabeth that still has all her powers was like, I would like to go back there to the same spot where my dead body is, because I feel bad about that little girl that I torched in a fucking oven, and I should actually save her because it's wrong that I didn't save her. Um, and in so doing, loses all of her powers and becomes a regular person.
Okay, so she goes back to stop herself in that moment.
Nope. Nope. She goes back afterwards. And she's like, I have to go on and walk past my own corpse and save that little girl from being a little sister because I harmed her in the oven thing.
And
And I've lost all my powers now. And the Lutesses literally tell her you'll lose all your powers to be a normal person. And she's like, I just have to do it because I'm involved now. Because I involved myself. I have to save the little girl.
but this is Elizabeth Prime.
They are all Elizabeth Prime simultaneously.
Okay.
They all are. They all are.
Okay.
And so right off the bat, they explain, well, because Elizabeth came to a universe in which she was already dead, she lost all her powers and became a normal person.
Okay, and she knew what that Elizabeth did because of their connection.
Yeah. But
okay.
because of the way that Bioshock sets up its infinite universes, every Elizabeth everywhere would get into a world where Elizabeth had died because she drowned Comstock and then evaporated herself across all timelines.
And doesn't that also imply that every Elizabeth is that evil piece of shit because they all are that Elizabeth?
They all have the capacity to go this far for revenge.
It's not like that's the one that is particular branched out in here and that is going through it. It's like, no, they're all that one. So this is a flaw with her as a character universally.
Yeah, no, and they actually
She's
do,
a piece
to
of
their
shit.
credit, say they point out like father, like daughter, in that like she's actually like kind of a fucking piece of shit.
All Elizabeths
like
in
Booker.
the multiverse Elizabeth universal is garbage.
So I want somebody a quick lane in the chat pointed out something really important. This is really important. This is a big detail. The Big Daddy goes nuts and attacks Elizabeth and Booker because they're messing with the little sister.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the behavior you would expect.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you start going through Fontaine's housewares department, and she's just a regular person. And we start to engage in the narrative of Burial at Sea Part 2, where you immediately run into Atlas, who is pretending to not be Fontaine.
Right. Okay.
And Elizabeth gets roped into a deal where she is constantly back and forthing between Suchong, the evil doctor, and Atlas of the Anti-Ryan Rebellion in a way to let Atlas out of his cage and get back to Rapture so that he can start the war that destroys Rapture.
Okay. So she's also directly responsible for the events that
and she's working with Suchong because guess what? You know what Suchong had in the background of Bioshock 1? He had a working tear machine, and him and Fink, they would talk on the phone all the time. And they co-developed the Big Daddy, Songbird, Vigors, Plasmids, etc. That was actually all co-development across Infinite and Bioshock 1. And do you know why no one's super nuts in Bioshock Infinite from plasmid use? Because Fink just figured out a way to make them safe. So Fink's like, oh, if you drink them, they're safe. They don't make you go nuts.
It would have been fine the whole time.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it does use 10 times as much atom, which is not good for business.
Okay.
But like, there's a gigantic blackboard in Suchong's lab that's like the drinkable version is safe.
Okay. So, but hold on though. Just so, like, is there also an implication here that like Rapture life would have totally been fine and everything would have been a-okay otherwise?
If the events that Elizabeth takes a part of in Burial at Sea Part 2 did not occur, Rapture would have kept going
That's
as a city.
insane. That's insane because the whole thing is that the philosophy of the place is
No, it
what
was her.
it crumbles
her,
under
dude.
its philosophy, Pat.
No, bro,
The
it
whole
was
point
her.
of the story is that it crumbles under the ideals. The ideals lead to the outcomes.
There was an article like a long time ago where Ken Levine mentioned that he just chose objectivism as a particular philosophy. He didn't actually feel all that strongly about it. You're like, that's absolutely insane. You actually wrote like this super intense game about the total eventual failure of the system. But now you get to this and you're like, no, an outside force destroyed Rapture.
It's like, okay, she secretly tied Anakin's shoelaces together so that when he would jump against Obi-Wan, he would trip up and fall.
Wait.
And the only reason why Obi-Wan got to cut him down.
So Suchong, now let's think about this, okay? This is New Year's Eve, the day before the Rapture War, right?
Okay.
There's little sisters running around. There's big daddies running around.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the details.
Into Suchong.
But, okay.
So Atlas wants to leave his prison and go start the war. What does Suchong want from your character? Suchong can't get big daddies to imprint on little sisters and needs your help. Now, let's ignore a couple of facts. One, a big daddy killed you because you fucked with a little sister. So the imprinting clearly exists, but no, it doesn't. He hasn't figured it out yet.
Okay.
Two, BioShock 2 is now evaporated from canon because Eleanor and Delta exist years prior to these events. So BioShock 2 gone.
Okay.
Gone. It didn't happen. Nothing in BioShock 2 happened. Evaporated. Because Suchong needs to figure out the imprinting.
Yeah, okay. Because the details I'm not remembering. I'm not fresh on.
Big daddies protect little sisters because they're imprinted on them.
No, but the BioShock 2's impact on
yeah, BioShock 2 is like you were a big daddy for years before the Rapture thing.
Yes.
So BioShock 2 gone.
Okay.
The best game gone. Evaporated.
Okay.
Didn't happen. Also, remember, this is the day before Rapture fell apart, and big daddies are not actually tethered to little sisters, which also like makes like zero sense at all.
Okay.
Okay, so how are we going to get the imprinting to work? So guess what? Suchong's like, well, Fink got Songbird to imprint on that girl.
Oh, come on. That? They just fucking,
so,
that sucks.
So, and you fucking think you're fucking mad. Get ready. So Suchong's like, yo, you have to go back to Columbia and get a lock of the hair that he used on Songbird, which of course is Elizabeth's own hair, but that's not actually important, right? You got to go back to Columbia. So what happens? We go back to Columbia. And we go back to Columbia, dead center of the middle of BioShock Infinite, while Booker and you, Elizabeth, are running around doing BioShock Infinite stuff, right? So you arrive in Columbia, and you're like, I got to get to Fink's lab. Well, if you remember, Wooly, I don't know, this is a bit of a minor detail, but if you remember, Fink's factory was the site of the big battle between Booker, Elizabeth, and the Vox. So while you're crawling around in the vents, you find a vent you can look through, and you know what? The Lutesses are there, and they're doing their, we're magic. We're basically pixie demons. Who are they talking to? Oh, that's right. They're talking to Daisy Fitzroy. And they're talking to Daisy Fitzroy. And do you know what they're telling Daisy Fitzroy? They're saying, listen, Elizabeth is really important, and she needs to become a powerful, independent woman. So you are going to have to fake getting ready to kill that child so that Elizabeth kills you and becomes white woman Jesus. And Daisy Fitzroy goes, I don't understand that at all, but okay.
The whole thing with the civil rights murderer Vox Populi shit. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so Daisy went
Oh,
from being
this
like an
is the
insane.
worst.
Yeah, it's the worst, dude. She goes from being like insane, fanatical, murdering psycho for nothing to, well, the
Actually,
Lucas's
we
just
need
told
you
her
to
to do
set that
it.
up.
Yeah, they're like, well, you have to die so Elizabeth can become
Was this an
the
attempt to
savior.
launder that plot point
Fully.
after the
So
fact, after realizing how shittily it was received?
it's
Because
difficult for
everything with
me.
Daisy was fucking
It's difficult for
horrible.
me to get this across, but as I was going through it, the entire DLC
Oh my
reads
god.
like a
Oh,
no but
oh
to the
no.
Reddit thread.
Yeah, no, oh, we fucked up with Daisy. No, 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 no. You don't
No,
understand. No, no,
she's the
actually.
hero.
Yeah.
She killed herself for reasons she didn't understand
Oh
because two
my
magic white people
god.
told her to just kill herself.
Daisy, it wasn't Daisy's fault. She didn't do that. It was
No,
fine in
she
the
just
end.
and like I
The
think it's
the
actually,
the retcon.
I think it's
Oh,
super important, and it's like the most important part is that Daisy does not understand why she is even doing it.
Gwen
Like all
Stacy was
the
having
multiversal shit
Gwen
and all the
Stacy
Elizabeth magic stuff
was
is beyond her.
Gwen Stacy was having an affair with the goblins, so she deserved to get her neck broke. That
Yeah.
cheating whore.
So
What the fuck, man?
so you get into an elevator and you go
Oh.
down the elevator, and as you go down the elevator, you just get to see Daisy and Booker and Elizabeth have the cutscene, and you're like a foot behind them. You're like breathing on the back of their and it's like, and I just yelled out, like, shut up, you weren't there. That's so stupid. But anyway, she was. So Daisy Fitzroy dies so that Elizabeth can become white woman Jesus.
White Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
like it's actually even worse. It's so stupid.
Does she?
But
Okay.
anyway, you're
And do the not the Lucesses, but like, is that one of those things? Like, is it does Daisy get what they're saying? Like
no, she
she just-
doesn't understand.
they just okay, but she does it anyway.
They're like, remember how we told you you would do this, and like they're like talking about how they know the future. It's like, well, Elizabeth needs to be a woman, and what's the difference between a girl and a woman? And Daisy goes, blood. And then they talk like 2 or 3 more lines, and she's like, I guess I have to. They basically tell her outright, you have to pretend to kill this baby so that Elizabeth kills you. And Daisy's like, I don't get it, but okay.
Was that a period joke? Was that? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Well,
Again,
all right.
bizarre fascination with Elizabeth's period in this game, in both games actually. Ooh. All right, so
okay,
we get
all right, sure,
we get
sure,
to
sure. Why
we get
not?
to Fink's lab.
Okay.
And we get to Fink's lab, and we start going through the Songbird imprinting lab process. And you get to go through all the failed attempts at imprinting Songbird on Elizabeth. And at one point, she holds up a big document that basically describes how Fink tried to just put a bunch of oxytocin injectors in Songbird's suit that would just blast off every time the Songbird saw Elizabeth. So like Songbird would see Elizabeth and they'd be like, love chemical. And I'm like, that would probably be a really good way to imprint something. And then she like holds it up a little higher and it's like unsuitable. Oh, I guess it didn't work. Oh, this one never worked. And I'm like, the one time in the whole DLC that I'm like, oh, that's actually
that would have been a really good solution, actually.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So hey, how did you find the secret? How did Songbird originally imprint on Elizabeth? Elizabeth was chilling in her tower at like 10, and Songbird got beat up and crashed through the tower from, I'm shrugging here, something. And Elizabeth affixed its mask so it didn't die. And that caused Songbird to love her. So they use the analogy of like the lion and the thorn in its paw. Right? And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I could have gone with the blast of fucking chemicals, actually. That would have been sick. But
yeah, that would have worked.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So we Elizabeth gets back to Rapture, and of course she has the magic particle that lets all the Colombian ships fly.
But she has no powers,
Right?
right? This is regular.
No, no powers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So she goes to the top of the housewares department and puts the little flying particle inside the building. And hey, look, Fontaine's housewares department is rising from the sea and can now reconnect with Rapture. And so Atlas has essentially been let off his leash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Atlas then, and this is the part that like it really feels like they didn't remember who Atlas was as a character. Atlas then, with a bunch of his like regular ass revolutionary goons, just start to beat the fuck out of and torture the shit out of Elizabeth because they're convinced that she knows what the ace in the hole is. And they just keep asking that over and over and over for like a period of weeks. As the war is going on in the background, they're just kicking the fucking shit out of Elizabeth, and also causing you to go through the setup to a transorbital lobotomy, which is done from first person, because they just keep, oh, we need the ace in the hole, we need it. And they assume she has it. This is the part of the game that I forgot to tell you about. During Burial at Sea Part 2,
Oh my god.
the magic ghost of Booker DeWitt that never was is talking to you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, man. Why not? Of course
And
he
he's
is.
just like, I'm not even real. I don't know why you're talking to me.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, he says, hey, Elizabeth, when you knew where all the doors were, you saw where you would be. You're going to go to Su Chong's lab. And so she goes, okay, I'll get you the ace from Su Chong's lab. And they go, okay, fine. So you go to Su Chong's lab. And when you get to Su Chong's lab, what do you find? You find that you never actually told Su Chong how the imprinting worked. So weeks into the Civil War, Big Daddies are still not imprinted on little sisters.
But
Which
that doesn't make sense.
it's like the singular core concept of the setting.
The whole thing, and like that's happening right away, and they're walking around guiding them immediately.
No, it's not. It didn't. So Elizabeth finds a damaged, hurt Big Daddy and two little sisters near him that are scared of him. And she does a bunch of magic nonsense and remembers how she helped Songbird. And she teaches the first little sister how to put Adam into a Big Daddy. And the Big Daddy is like, I love this little sister. And Elizabeth solves the imprinting process.
Because it's the same as me fixing the beak.
At which point you walk into a part of Su Chong's office and they reenact Su Chong's famous audio log where he slaps the little sister and the Big Daddy kills him. So Su Chong literally never figures it out.
She does it.
He doesn't even know. Doesn't even know. Which brings to mind, then how did the rest of them fucking imprint? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh, because it only applied to the one that was in the lab at the time.
It's a one-to-one basis.
Yes, right.
This was the part of the stream where we're going to move off to the side, where I started to talk to chat, and to Gene in particular, where somebody mentioned that Dr. Su Chong in Bioshock is Korean. To which I said, that's fucking super weird. Why is he speaking in an incredibly heavily accented Chinese accent in English? To which everyone was like, I don't know. Are you sure that's a Chinese accent? To which Gene and a couple other Korean guys were like, yeah, no, that's a Chinese accent he's doing. But that's not the part that's actually really strange. The part that's strange is that you find he's got a bunch of hidden notes. He's encoded like what looks like the periodic table or chemical notes, but it's actually, like his secret notes. It just needs a cipher, right? And so Elizabeth, being the genius that she is, decodes it like that and discovers that his secret notes, the Dr. Su Chong, the Korean guy who speaks English as a second language, has been writing all of his secret notes about Big Daddies and Adam in broken English.
Mm-hmm.
encoded for
Mm-hmm.
secrets
Mm-hmm.
instead of, I don't know, just fucking
In
Korean.
Korean, for example.
Baffling.
Yes.
Absolutely nuts.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fucking weird.
Well,
I've never seen anything like that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. The mysteries of the Orient, Pat, you see. It's all the
Yeah.
same thing, and therefore we can just don't think about it.
All right.
Done and done. Yeah.
So now Elizabeth has caused the big daddies to know how to protect little sisters. So
One of
that's going to
one of them.
so multiple weeks into the Civil War, now little sisters are going to be protected. Once the big daddy, I guess, tells all his big daddy friends how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But the ace, she has to get the ace back to Atlas. Well, I don't know if you remember the term ace in the hole from BioShock 1, but the ace in the hole is a little piece of paper that says "Would you kindly"
Would you
on it.
kindly? Yeah. Yeah.
So she gets the "Would you kindly" thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then has a vision of her in an airplane bathroom walking down the aisle while some guy's smoking and pulls a gun out to take over the airplane because he's got a goofy little sweater on because it's Jack. Look, she sees the vision of Jack from BioShock 1. Remember the beginning of BioShock 1? Elizabeth was there. She was on the plane somehow. I don't know. So she gives Atlas the "Would you kindly,"
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "Cool, now we can go do BioShock 1."
Mm-hmm.
And then he beats her to death with a wrench, and she dies. And in her final moment, she sees a vision of the future because one of the little sisters, this little sister that she had to save, that little sister was one of the little sisters in the BioShock 1 good ending. And you see her get out of the bathysphere and walk over to Jack in his stupid little sweater and hug him. And she's like, I guess it was all worth it. And then she just dies.
Oh my.
And we have gone from an infinite multiverse
Oh my
to
God.
everything in BioShock Infinite happened so that Elizabeth could be responsible for every single thing that happens in BioShock 1.
And she can, her vision looks past the entire tragedy of the first game to just,
So
that
that's
one
the part that really slams it home where she's like, it's all worth it because I saved this one little girl. Dude, that like 1 million people die in the Rapture Civil War. Like,
the whole thing. Oh my God.
But
Wow.
on the plus side to all of this, Elizabeth's new design is really hot. And you find a child indoctrination center in run by Andrew Ryan, in which you discover that Andrew Ryan has a persona called Ryan the Lion that teaches kids about the parasite.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That even has his little mustache and
Wow.
his tie.
Wow. Yep.
Straight up persona. 100%.
Okay. Look at him go. He's got a little yogi collar.
So like not only does none of the events in BioShock Infinite matter, she causes all of the tragedy that happens in BioShock 1 and erases BioShock 2 from existence.
And is also a horrible person, definitively.
And is a horrible person. A horrible person.
See, yeah.
So like Jack in BioShock 1 is like a commentary on lack of choice as a player because Jack has no inherent control because of Would You Kindly.
Yes. Yeah.
But the point of Jack is that he breaks free from that control and has his morality one way or the other. But no, because Elizabeth knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And she made sure it happened.
The dominoes fell in place the whole time.
So Jack actually has no agency at all in his entire life.
Oh no, you gotta love when a sequel or something else like re-establishes the cage and determinism on something about free will and choice, right? You gotta love when that comes into play afterwards because the dominoes were placed behind the starting point.
So now when you play BioShock 1, the following things are happening. Big Daddies only work because of Elizabeth. Su Chong is dead because of Elizabeth. Atlas is free because of Elizabeth. Atlas has controlled you, Jack, because of Elizabeth. Jack killed the people on the plane because of Elizabeth. The Ryan's on the back foot in the Civil War because of Elizabeth. And a couple hours after you get Electrobolt, the past Elizabeth kills Songbird in the Electrobolt room. Because that's how Songbird gets taken out. When they transport themselves to Rapture in the game's ending,
Yeah.
she just drowns Songbird in the
She
water outside the Electrobolt room.
okay. And
Um,
wait, but oh wait, that's not the thing that causes the damage that she.
no, because that's in the future.
Okay, because grandfather paradox.
Okay, so
No,
let's think
okay.
about this for a second. And this is my favorite of all the plot holes.
I
If Elizabeth
fucking. This is what people. This is when you come to multiverses, man. Like this is what everyone is afraid of. This
Oh
is
yeah.
this is the worst version.
Okay, let's get this. If
Oh
Elizabeth
boy,
loses her powers, if she travels to a world
where she's
in
dead.
which she has died,
Yes.
then when Elizabeth in BioShock Infinite's ending travels to Rapture in 1960, that is the Rapture that she has died in twice in 1958. So she should immediately lose her powers and be unable to drown Booker
Because
slash Comstock because she's dead there twice.
there's the original one from the end of part one, and then there's the one that
And then the
kills
same
Songbird.
original one from further on in the end of
Oh
part
my
one.
god. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what, folks? Listen. Whatever.
It,
Just whenever people are like, wouldn't it be cool if like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Demon Souls were connected? No. And this is
no, maybe not.
this type of shit is why, right? This is the worst possible outcome for, hey, if Rapture and Columbia were kind of, if there was a link somehow or a way to visit to homage that or something, you know, like I thought it was the lightest little like, oh yeah, check it out, isn't that a cool
Bro,
sort of
like
thing? The absolute intertwining and heavy dependency on its existence, that's batshit.
So in BioShock Infinite, you get a tiny, tiny little piece of Fink being able to like, oh, I can look through tears sometimes because Elizabeth and I saw like an aquatic guy and I helped build like Songbird based off of that. And you basically had this idea of like Fink was like copyright infringing on stuff he saw in other universes, and that's where all the Colombian technology came from, right? He just like saw the idea. I was like, oh, I could steal that. And then Infinite is like, no, dude, fucking Fink and Suchong were on like interdimensional Zoom call for a fucking year, co-developing everything in both games,
Oh man.
including a way to make plasmids in BioShock 1 safe.
Yeah, so just everything you like about the past is also now ruined and shitty. Everything about what was good, about what you liked in BioShock 1 and 2. Fuck.
Elizabeth did it. It was because of
That's
Elizabeth.
crazy. That's so wild to do. Man, way to misread the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though the irony here is that because Infinite's DLC retcons BioShock 2 out of canon, you get to sit there and decide which one you actually want to count.
Right.
Do you want
sure.
the really good game to be the one that matters or the shitty DLC? And I'm going to go and play Minerva's Den in a couple of weeks.
Third birthday.
Because I never beat it.
Third birthday is wild, but holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Okay. Oh, man. And you see, the thing is like, no. Like, because I'm thinking of the aggressive retcon, just like, nah, it was all because of this though. And I think we all agreed that like, you know what? Fuck it. I kind of love the fact that Akuma was standing right there in Tekken's story.
Oh, totally.
And made that whole thing happen, right?
Absolutely.
And then fucked off back to Street Fighter World.
You know, it's funny because like there's a big anime story that happened in the last couple of years that included the plot point of I was actually totally there the whole time whispering into people's ears. Like I was
Yeah.
actually a major plot
Yeah, yeah,
of the
yeah.
whole thing. And that was cool. This is like I was there for everything ever,
So
even though it doesn't make it any better or more interesting.
see, the thing is that Tekken's story was already dog shit before Akuma walked in to do all
Yeah,
that, so it doesn't matter. Like,
absolutely.
versus the fear I felt when it was like, after Snake Eater, please do not fuck with the boss. Please, please, please don't fuck with that, right? And I guess that's the kind of idea here is essentially BioShock was fine, right? I mean, like, okay, again, we talk about the problems with the last boss fight, etc. But
Yeah, no, BioShock 1 and 2's like plots are excellent.
as part of as far as the story goes, that's fine. You don't need to fuck with that. You don't need to change motivations. The things that we don't know are implied enough off screen to still make the whole thing work. And like taking your fuck up and then shoving that fuck up even further so that it's not just contained to the game it's in, but the tentacles reach out into the past as well, is the worst possible thing you can do.
Yeah, I got one for you. I got a bigger one.
This is taking the fucking Prometheus goop and shoving it into Alien, right? It's taking the shit from the future that's garbage and ruining the past with it.
Hey, do you remember when Skullface was behind you during the entirety of Snake Eater? He was there the whole time. You remember that? Remember Skullface? Remember when he was there the whole time? He was there. But no, I actually do have one worse for you. Because Elizabeth being an interdimensional external force, she unfortunately proves Andrew Ryan correct. He was right. Society would have been fine had it not been externally destroyed.
A man is entitled to the sweat of his brow.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy, dude.
A man is actually entitled to the sweat of his brow.
It took a magic wizard from a different dimension to destroy Andrew Ryan's rapture.
Ayn Rand! Like Jeb,
it's
undefeated. Ayn Rand sweep! Wow, Ken, that's crazy, dog. That shit's
Andrew Ryan
nuts.
also, by the way, speaks to Elizabeth and knows she's from a different dimension.
Oh.
He knew the whole time.
Oh, man. Incredible. That's what yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of realize when you made something good, and like this is after the fact too. So again, if you're gonna do the Daisy Fitzroy retcon, you know people are upset, so you already know how they feel about the current thing. And like you should take that and use that as a reason to put the things you made that were good in a glass box and never let them be touched.
Mm-hmm.
That is so nuts, man. Wow.
It's highly crazy. It's super nuts. I also, and this is important, Burial at Sea Part 2, super long. Like really, really long.
Okay.
And as I described earlier, stealth sections and poor gameplay.
So yeah, like it fucking it really was people going, wow, look, it's the Rapture textures.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's it. That's all. Okay.
100%.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, I remember hearing that like Minerva's Den was cool, but had
Minerva's Den is supposedly the best BioShock thing to ever exist.
Okay. Okay.
And for realsies, this is from people who liked BioShock 2, which is a good game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very
and
bad.
it's also its existence is mutually exclusive with Burial at Sea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Burial at Sea and BioShock 2 cannot coexist. They directly contradict each other in major ways.
Well, Minerva's Den specifically.
No, Minerva's Den is just like right after. It's like a side story. It's not connected to anything.
Okay.
It's its own little narrative in BioShock land. On the plus side, Elizabeth's new outfit is really quite attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'll be really honest, this is kind of unlike me. watching Elizabeth run around in that first part carried it a little bit, like a little bit.
Yeah, but
But then you play as her in the second one,
yeah,
and you never
yeah.
get to see her again.
Horribly, horribly evil, but pretty
But
hot, so morally gray. Okay, interesting.
yeah, just ridiculous, just absolute nonsense.
I mean, you can't say that they never swung for the fences, right? Like they really just fucking went for it, and then retroactively went back and like went for it on all their previous things as well.
Yeah, so so Bioshock Infinite's development was a mess, and so was the development of these, and these are all Ken Levine going, no, actually, to like a Reddit post. Basically, that's what it feels like. And then as soon as Burial at Sea shipped, the entire studio disintegrated, and Ken left the company.
The way you describe, yeah, like the way you're describing those events unfolding, it does read like a lost season finale trying to outpace everyone on Reddit, figuring out what the story is about, and just and swerving and swerving and swerving, and then but then wouldn't it be crazy if? But then wouldn't it be crazy if? You know? Okay, all right, wow. I don't.
That's what's up.
Well, I was gonna say, like, what is this now? With that, I go, okay. Well, now I can see why the series was dead for so long.
Oh yeah, he torched it on the way out the door. Like it's where's there to fucking go? Because you had an infinite multiversal god decide the single most important thing that could ever happen across all of time is making Bioshock 1 happen. So what could you do in the story so that would be as important as fucking that? So, also, people are saying to space. Of note is that Citadel Station from System Shock was supposed to be one of the lighthouses in the ending of Bioshock Infinite. But for whatever reason, they could not do that, which is great because it leaves System Shock fucking
untouched.
free.
The tentacle cannot reach. Yeah. So Bioshock 4 basically is facing the same thing that Mass Effect 4 is facing, right? Is like
what the fuck do we fucking do?
What do you even do? You've ruined everything.
We went everywhere you
could
go geographically. We went everywhere you could go in dimension and time.
I mean,
we fucked it all up all over the place.
There always is the very bold, strong narrative. Yeah, fuck all that shit. Ignore that.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
There's always that. Every story has 100%. The opportunity to go, yeah, no, never mind, actually.
Yep, that's exactly what they should do. Hey, I would love to continue this, but I have to use the restroom. If you'll excuse me.
That's some
All
dog
right.
shit.
Yeah, it's dog shit. It's terrible. You know what's not dog shit? I played some Baby Steps.
Oh yeah,
That's the game where the guy that kind of looks like me, body type wise, starts stepping around and falling down on things.
Bennett Foddy teaches you how to walk.
So, despite the fact that I crashed out really bad over Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea, Baby Steps is the most frustrated and pissed off I've ever been on camera ever.
Nice.
Like fuming, like silently fuming and like barely managing to keep my show going for hours. Just encapsulated with like the most frustration ever.
Sick. Okay. Yep. Yep. So we're dialing up the exact same genre.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see if
Bennett Foddy appears as a character in this game who is really annoying. And Bennett can't keep his shit straight during his lines. So like you can actually hear him like failing his own takes
okay.
at the dialogue that he wrote for himself and then putting that take in anyway. It's really funny. It's really fucking funny.
Is he in the Diogenes outfit with the pot and the
Nah, he's just some weird guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually super great. Like the controls are god awful, but you get really, really, really good at them. You get really good at them stepping controls.
Well, like, should I if I start this when Punch Girl is trying to learn how to walk, can I race her?
There's transferable skills. There's transferable skills.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You'll get a little bit of empathy. You climb up a mountain, and on your way up the mountain, there's tons of little side quest things that appear in front of you, like a cup you can't reach, or a little funny hat on top of a thing. And getting those items is about a million times harder than actually progressing in the game, which led to me struggling for like an hour and 15 minutes to climb like a single rock before eventually giving up and then having a tantrum for multiple hours.
Interesting.
Great game.
The only thing I've heard is that I heard it's fun, heard it's hard, and I heard that the crown is worth it.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, but there we go.
Cool game. Very good. I also played a very high amount of Silent Hill F last night.
Yes. Teleporting and trick stepping behind monsters and
it's funny. That's literally what I wanted to start to talk about first. Hinako Silent Hill has the longest range dash for evasion of any character I can think of.
All iframes.
It's like 8 feet. Like it's absolutely insane.
Sick.
How far she can move with it.
Okay.
She also has like a perfect timing. She has like a just frame on her dodge. And she has a parry mechanic.
Now, does this imply the existence of like monsters that can keep up with this shit though, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It absolutely does.
Okay.
It is a Silent Hill game that takes place in the 1960s in Japan, rural Japan, which is very weird for a series based entirely on like spooky Americana. But rural Japanese villages in the mountains are foggy and misty as shit and also fucking cursed.
The fog is spreading.
Wandering around town in the fog, fighting monsters, scraping for resources, having totally inscrutable conversations with characters.
Did you?
It's a Silent Hill game.
Was there a Japanese word for gyromancy?
Yes.
God damn it.
Not exactly, but there's basically a lot of the game's plot revolves around the local worship of the Oinari god, the fox god.
Okay.
And there's a lot of subtext going on between a lot of the teenage characters that's really interesting as to like teenage drama stuff that is like manifesting a little more strongly. One of the most interesting things I have ever seen in a game ever is the untrustworthy helper that the game is screaming at you is untrustworthy. So very early on, within like an hour, you run into a very handsome, magical fox man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is like, hey, I'll help you. You got to help me. We got to do magic stuff to protect you from the demons. You are constantly getting ghosts scribbling all over the walls. Don't trust the fox. Do not trust him. And
Mm-hmm.
then you get the achievements for beating the levels. That is stuff like the fox guarding the chicken coop. And
Okay.
it's like outrageously obvious he is nefarious to everyone but Hinako, the main character.
Did she try saying moshi moshi?
No.
Okay. Well, that's her problem then.
Um and the storyline, so Silent Hill F, the F stands for feminism,
Uh-huh.
like literally. And the
Not,
story
not
is about like a teenage girl in like 1960s Japan in like a patriarchal like village society where like she used to hang out with her sister all the time, but then her sister got married and she's hanging out with her girlfriends, and like there's internalizing drama about a boy, and that is like manifesting out through the lens of Silent Hill,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the a huge proportion of the enemies are like the women turned into like sacks of meat, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so when you run into this fox man, who is this white-haired, older, charismatic, handsome, helpful dude, you're like, don't trust that guy. Don't trust that handsome older man who's like here to help you. Like straight up, don't. That dude's bad news.
Uh, I guess I'm expecting that it's called F in the sense that it's going to be multiple things like five, and it's obvious.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
five,
musical
it's forte,
forte
it's
exactly.
feminism, it's etc.
Fox.
Yes, it's Fox. Yes, also F also stands for Fox.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally a white fox. He's literally morally gray. He's actually literally gray
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
and morally gray. The game also has an extraordinarily strange structure in terms of New Game Plus. So it's Silent Hill. So there will be like a UFO ending, and there will be, the mean ending or the good ending or whatever, right? All
Fox
ending
ending.
variations are linked to New Game Plus. Beating the game the first time will only reward you with one ending, which is the ending.
Okay.
And then New Game Plus is a different version of the game
Okay.
that has a different story and different boss fights and different like mechanics.
I like that. That's fine. That's good. That's good.
That's the one that it's like, well, what if things were different?
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate the zero escape version of endings, as opposed to did you stare at the photo in your inventory long enough?
Yeah. So like playthrough 1 is this is the game.
Cool.
This is how it happened. And playthrough 2 is, okay, did you stare at the photo?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Mm-hmm.
did you find all the UFO pieces, or did you kill as many enemies as you could? Whatever the conditions are. I also decided to play it. So after doing baby steps, I decided, fuck it, I'm going to play Silent Hill F on hard because I know how to fucking play a Silent Hill game. Yo, dude. Okay, so you know how I said that she has like a stronger dash than the Bloodborne Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hard mode on that game demands it. The boss fights in Silent Hill F on hard mode are Dark Souls level boss fights.
Okay.
Like there was one that I encountered that I fought for a little while. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna run away because there's a character yelling at you, hey, just run through the window. And it took me a minute to be like, no, the game actually wants me to fucking fight this guy and beat this guy. This is a real fight. This is not a scripted loss. This is not a runaway. This is like, no, fight your fucking ass off.
What's your inventory looking like?
Your inventory is a shit ton of health items. Just a crazy amount of different types of health items. You've got health items that heal you. You have health items that heal you big. You have health items that maintain that lock your stamina in place. You have health items that restore sanity. You have health items that prevent sanity loss, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. and you also have a collection of pipes and knives that are breakable, that
Okay.
will lose their durability and break.
Okay. There should not be guns as a thing
No,
here. That would
there are
not make
no
that
there are
would
no
not make
firearms.
sense. Yeah. Okay.
Um, and enemies do a shit ton of damage, and so you have like tons and tons of these health items, and I'm like, I don't really care about these health items. A lot of them are stuff like maxes out your sanity and then prevents sanity loss, but I'm not really losing any sanity. So the game allows you to sacrifice any consumables you don't want to the save point, and it will give you points you can cash in on upgrading your character instead.
Whoa. Okay. Hmm. Upgrading what exactly?
So upgrading health, stamina, and a
Sanity.
sanity
Yeah.
bar.
Okay.
And then the final upgrade is that that costs like $1 million, is you can cash in enough faith that you can get an extra accessory slot for your character. And accessories are longer stamina bar, lower durability use on attacks, enemy
Okay.
line of sight down. So the extra accessory one is crazy strong, but instead of like 500 faith to upgrade, it's like 1500. So they know that it's by far the best one.
So you're not picking up pouches or body armor, like
No,
as okay.
no,
Yeah.
you're picking up
Okay.
consumable health items of various types, and you are picking up, you know, pipes and knives that will break on enemies. It's really cool. It's also very different, obviously, because the most of his differences are because it's in Japan. There's like a weird thing going on where there's like, you'll get into a cutscene and like, this is a Silent Hill 1 or 2 track, right? Like style. Like this, you could have just pulled this right off the Silent Hill 1 or 2 album, except for the Japanese instrumentation.
Okay. Like
They'll
a
throw a couple
shamisen
Japanese instruments on, like
instead of a
shamisen, or
guitar.
they'll have like
Hmm.
school kids singing. And you're like, this is literally a Silent Hill 2 track in style, except that there's like a shamisen in the background.
Nice, nice, nice,
Because
nice.
Japan.
Yeah, cool, cool.
I will circle back with that more later. It's cool. I really like it. The other world in that game is not a chain link, fire and brimstone
Why the fuck
nightmare
would it
gore
be?
thing.
Yeah.
It is an infinite temple, just like a
Hell
Shinto
yeah.
temple that just
Hell
goes
yeah.
on forever.
Sick. Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really quite interesting.
Like, yeah, why would there be any Western influence on the horror aspects of this?
You know what the weirdest thing is? There's there's a single sound that I have not heard in Silent Hill F that I am baffled, because its expression of fear is from a Japanese perspective. I have not heard an air raid siren.
Oh,
Like the
yeah.
single sound
Yeah,
effect that I would
yeah.
expect to hear the most,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
haven't heard even once. I feel like they are saving it.
That's a powerful one.
Yeah. Also, I have a sneaking suspicion that the game will feature only the most tangential link to anything in the mainline series at all.
As it
I
should be.
I suspect what is going to happen is that the herbal medicine that is in the red pills that you're taking turns out to be exported to the West as a Galafowitz, or a Galaphatus, the anti-demon red juice
Sure,
from Silent Hill 1
sure.
and 2.
Yeah, you know what? And the FBI brought it there in the and we just did this in BioShock. Like, we don't need
Yeah.
this conversation. Things don't have to be connected. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Great. Cool.
The only other thing I did this week is I played a bunch of 2XKO.
Yeah.
That game's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I can jump in there.
Bro, the matchmaking is so fucking fast. Even in a really small closed beta environment, matchmaking is instantaneous.
Jumped on ranked and had a good time with that.
Hey, how'd your placements go?
I got to Grandmaster.
Okay, I lost all of my placements and still placed in Emerald, the top of Emerald,
Okay.
which says to me that they are definitely using your non-ranked MMR as like a baseline.
I always wonder if it's also looking at like what you're doing in game. You know, it's like, are you using all the mechanics? Are you, you know, because there's a part of me that like, um, yeah, because I feel like six did a bit of that too as well. It's like, are you doing some of the full system? You know, are you using
You doing
stuff?
fancy shit?
Then okay, this shows that you kind of know this, and then they're gonna place you there a little bit. Yeah. Um, it was no, I got a bunch of good matches out of ranked, and I would say that most of the fights I had were competitive, um, and the ones that weren't like, um, you know, you do the set and then go back to. I'd say like they were fairly minimal. The one thing about the ranked that I will say that they should probably fix, because I saw people kind of describing it as like the return of Guilty Gear Strive Towers,
Mhm.
but that's only aesthetic, right?
No, yeah, it doesn't actually work that way at all. You're just being pooled into lobbies, but if somebody's not in your lobby, you just
Yes.
matchmake with them
So
anyway.
so you play ranked into XKO, and then it drops you in a room, and you see other people in that room like fighting each other. So if you're not paying attention to the system, you might go, "Oh, I'm in a room like a Guilty Gear floor." But when you hit queue up, it's queuing you up with everybody on all servers.
Yep.
So you're not actually. It doesn't matter what room you're in. You know, you're
Mhm.
fighting ghosts at
It's
most of those
purely
cabinets.
aesthetic so that you feel like you're in a cool lobby all the time.
Yes. And you can still walk up to people and watch their play and see what's going on if you want to. The only thing I'd say is like when you do rank out of a room, um, so like my initial placement was diamond, and then you know after after streaking, you kind of like you
Yeah.
accelerate your advancement. Um, it asks you, hey, we found a better lobby for better matches. Would you like to go there now or stay here?
Yeah, and then you go there and then you lose a couple matches and they kick you right the fuck back to the lobby you were just in.
But or okay, so I always chose to just go and go through, but I'm just imagining like if you go, nah, I want to stay here, does that mean you can kind of like farm on a
I don't
lower
think it makes
floor?
any difference at all. I don't think it makes any difference at all.
Okay, because I'm kind of that's the part of
I
it that
think
I'm
it's just so if you don't want to do ranked, you can do player matches with people in that lobby,
okay.
and they'll be your appropriate level. But like ranked takes like 1 second to get a match,
Y-
so
yeah, it's true. Even if you're not in that room, ghosts are still showing up to fight you from wherever you're at. So yeah, it shouldn't actually matter whether you leave the room or not.
do you have the thing from 2XKO from this morning as part of news?
I do.
All right, we'll just
So
talk about that then.
yeah. Um, but no. Otherwise, though, I think that yeah, having a lot of fun with that, and it's very cool to see. Um, there is stuff that people are able to do as two people like duos that single players can't do. You know.
Just can't do them.
Yeah, there's certain kinds of combos and certain tech, you know, and one of the ones, for example, is like Vi has a charged up punch, and when you're two people, your partner can jump in, you can tag to them, and if the first person who was on screen was Vi, player one can start charging up her punch, and player two can take over, continue fighting, and then you can keep the charge going while she's on screen, and then let it
Now,
go. You know.
depending on your personal dexterity, you can do a little bit of that with one player, but it's well, you can
Yes.
do way fancier stuff with two.
So you can do what the way you have to do it with one person if you're playing is basically if you choose like freestyle, for example, you do a move with your first character that lasts a long time, and then you switch to the second character while that first character's move is still going, you know. But here, like if you start charging a move as Vi, you start charging a punch and you switch to the second, it'll release the button because your controls switch over, you know. So yeah, just people have been finding little things like that are really cool setups and unique, and all of that is really fun because I want the feeling of like people playing this as a single or a duo to actually be different competitively from one person doing it.
I have I've run into a situation with duos that is really fun, which is a guy, like it would be like you and me playing together as a duo,
Mm.
where one of us is way, like currently you are way stronger than I am. I am running into a lot of duos in which there's one guy who's like probably the top of Grandmaster and his buddy who's in silver.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
I am like fighting for my fucking life, and then I'm like, oh cool, time to combo dummy this shithead.
Yeah. You have one person trying to exact. I've had some fun fights where the team that you fight has somebody who's just a complete training dummy, and then the person who jumps in takes one character and beats both of yours.
Yeah,
You know.
well,
Yes. Well, exactly. Overtuned. I'm learning about how League of Legends players and the chase to be challenger ranked and how important that is. Because once you get to Grandmaster, then top 500 is challenger category,
mhm.
which is the big deal. But what's kind of wild about this system, and I guess the idea is, I guess we'll let it go for now and see how it goes. But you can play ranked with a friend, and essentially the average level of you and your friend will be where you are targeted to, if not a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit
that
above
I
it.
can feel that, dude. I can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah, it finds the middle of the lower and the high of the two players, and it sticks the team there, right? And then for each win and each loss, they divide the points. So you're not gonna, if you're playing with a partner, you're not gonna get as many points. So you can't get carried as easily if you're trying to get carried, right? Like
Yeah.
it'll I guess the idea is like the amount that your strong friend will carry you up will be mitigated by that friend's inability to 2v1 a
Yeah.
real opponent, that's hypothetically not half as good as you, but is half as good as the difference between you and the person you're carrying. So it's like it's like a math thing, but you're a 10 in skill, your friend is a 1 in skill, you're queuing up together, and the game's pitting
I'm a
you
5.
against
That makes it
fives.
fair.
Yes. So now that I've died, now that your friend who's 1 has died, the person who's 10 needs to win as one character against the 5 who has all of their stuff. And if you do, then hey, cool, you get those points, half of them, of course, and continue onward. So it should curve out in such a way where the team climbing should not be so fast that like the person who's holding you back as an anchor is getting as much of a boost as you are losing your momentum if you are solo.
So the other thing that happens, the way they're running ranked, is that your ranked mode is your ranked level is your ranked level, no matter what character you pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the problem here that I have in Street Fighter, because when I play Street Fighter and I jump from, let's say everybody starts at Diamond now because I had Bison and Geef and Master. I don't know how to play fucking Guile, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I hopped in a Guile, like if they forced me to go into fucking Master rank, it would be time for me to die.
Yeah.
Right. And in 2XKO, like I've been playing almost exclusively Blitzcrank and a little bit of Alawi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I wanted to learn Darius, well, I can still have Blitzcrank as 50% of my fucking team.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like 100% fucked by not knowing what I'm doing.
It doesn't work in a tag game or a team game to do these single character rankings because, it
would get really complicated.
It would get really complicated. It would be the duo that matters, It'd be like, oh yeah, Blitzcrank Alawi is one pair that gives you this ranking, but Blitzcrank solo is another, like that doesn't really make sense. But and it is also cool to see like people that are doing Juggernaut are like finding tech, and
I've discovered that Juggernaut is a fuse of extremes.
Yep. You better learn to defend, or if you touch, you better kill whatever you touch.
I found it's actually really helpful for me figuring out like tag fundamentals, and that like I don't use push block usually, but I play Juggernaut Blitzcrank, so I have now had to learn how to fucking push block.
There's that.
And when to push block.
I would say that Juggernaut is probably like Blitzcrank is probably the best character on Juggernaut. Um,
Probably
you
him and
know,
Darius.
the fact that you can incoming people with a grab mix is ridiculous. The fact that
That's out.
oh, they
That's
fixed
out
it.
as of this morning.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so it was also nerfed this morning.
Oh, wow, I didn't see. Okay.
You got about a 20% decrease on all his specials.
Interesting, because Yasuo could do it all. Yasuo's
Yeah, you
insane.
can do it everything.
So yeah, Blitzcrank for those who are wondering, when you he has an air grab, like he can jump and spinning pile driver you out of the air, but when you're playing as a solo Juggernaut, he can do a combo that forces a switch from your first character to your second, and the second is forced to jump onto the screen, which means they're forced to be in the air, which means he can be in the air grabbing you
Yeah, that was an unintended
inescapably.
effect.
you know
That was not supposed to be the case. That was fixed this morning.
yeah. No, it really is interesting. And like I was I was talking with Min, and he was kind of explaining how like basically the shit that you're seeing with Blitzcrank is exactly how he plays in League. And
Absolutely, 100%.
yeah, and like it just translates right the same way, and the Steam
He is the
usage.
best translated character so far. It's really impressive.
Huh. Yeah, and I'm kind of like, if you play this character in the other game, like you're translating the genre over, but you still kind of know
His spirit fills your chest.
that's good. That's really good. Because I hate because the worst feeling in the world is when you take a character from Persona 4 Arena and you drop them in a BlazBlue cross tag battle, and it's like you took the same character but you took moves away, and now it's a shell of what they used to be. So you're just like, no, this is a bad version of what I like, you know. The other thing too is like, yeah, people have been pointing out that like you can see how Yasuo is a character designed by Marlon Pai, who's a fucking insane Marvel player. And
what if he could do everything? Calm
a
down, Marlon.
love letter to my style of play, right? And Echo is a character designed by just the mix god. What if you could do left, rights, and make everybody cry?
Yeah, I know everybody seems to be like this massive like what if they could do everything everyone in this archetype could ever have done. Like Jinx has traps, multiple different types of projectiles, of the jumps, the movement, a dashing low, like fuck off.
But I would say that like the complexities and love of like all of that put into like those three that we just mentioned. By contrast, a character like Darius is like, I don't know, he does a DP, shut up.
Darius is this game's for you.
He makes you bleed,
And Braum needs work really bad. Braum's shit.
Braum's struggling. Braum is struggling. Yes,
he doesn't have enough going on. He needs I don't know, but he needs something.
But yeah, no, but this was. We'll get into some of the announcements a little bit later in the actual news, but in terms of just like this update, that was good stuff. Pretty promising. We'll talk about some of those cosmetics, but like, the fun part about cosmetics and them being the primary focus of your money is if the cosmetics are ugly and not something you want to spend your cash on, you can simply save and put that cash towards stages and other content, so great. If there's no incentive for me to go buy one of these things, then it's even easier to focus in on what I want to put my fight bucks towards. Anyway, we'll get into a bit more there later. I will tag in because I did get a little more Silk Song time in as well.
All right, how's Silk and or Song?
So I guess in terms of placement, I have made it to the last judge.
Okay, that's the run back that caused all the discourse, by the way.
Oh, that area?
Yeah, those worms used to do 2 pips of damage.
Oh, I thought the area, because that's so interesting. I thought the run back area that you were hinting at was the uncharted space that is with the fucking with the trap bench.
Okay, so with
There's a
Describe it slightly more thoroughly.
there's a forest area above the fire area, and in it there's a bunch of red ants.
Oh no, 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 no.
Okay.
So so basically you are currently working under there are 3 discourses about Song difficulty. Discourse 1 is why is Hunter's March with the ants so much harder than everything else around it?
Okay, so that's okay. So first off, yeah, Hunter's March, where you because one, it's designed as it's interesting, right? Because it's designed where you're not going to get that map like right off the bat like the others. You're not going to hear the song "Be-da-do." You're not going to hear the humming for a while, and you're going to get through these enemies, which are they got a complex move set, so they're full enemies. You got to avoid all the spikes, etc. And the first hint of a progress save you can get at is there's either outside the zone or deep in, you get that fucking trap bench, right?
So that's discourse 1. Discourse 2 is I can't beat the last judge. Why is this run back so hard?
Mm-hmm.
And discourse 3 is why is Savage Beast Fly so fucked up? And then discourse 4 would be like, you motherfuckers, you cannot be fucking serious with this run back nonsense.
Okay, so because I have been because I've discovered invisible walls and things to break, I have been compulsively slashing at things. So I haven't been.
Absolutely.
I found a bunch of those that I feel are like, okay, well, even more reason to go nuts. So this is now a running through Dark Souls, swinging at every wall type situation.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I will say that like. What I love about the Church of the Beast is, besides the name, Temple of the Beast rather, is like you have these single pattern, simple bosses, which Hollow Knight is famous for, and here you get one that has like little swerves on you. So like you're going Toto leads you to the wall, and if you don't have him crash into the wall, oh no you don't, and you're getting little fake outs on their animation pattern, that turn back around on you, and you can still position yourself to kind of exploit the AI, more or less. But I do like the gimmick there of like if you don't kite successfully, it's trickier. And then also, there will be moments where it'll get a little bit off the ground so that you're not at jump height. So you can't just clear that from the ground. You're going to have to get off the wall. And if Pogo. And if you don't deal with the ads, more ads are coming. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, just those little parts to make this a little.
You're talking about 1 or 2?
I mean 1, I guess.
Okay, because like 1 is like,
I see what's going on. Yeah.
2 is like you are sick freaks for putting this into the game.
The other thing I'm seeing at this point too is that the waves of enemies together, pretty manageable, but every once in a while it's a certain combination that is like. Oh.
Yeah, it really shows off the enemy designs where you're like, oh man, I can handle all these oh no, those 2 enemy types together. Where do I go? We're safe.
These 2 together is there's a couple of those where you're like, man, that's annoying, right? And there's even little things where it's like exploitable, simple video gamey like enemy patterns with just a little more hesitation and like swoop to them can be more annoying. Like those basic little birds, they just wait a little bit longer than a regular enemy does, and you're like, you get more impatient with them as you're waiting for their pattern and stuff, and you're like, could you just like you're your own worst enemy against a lot of enemies that are like testing your impatience, especially ones that have a defensive moment where they're kind of like, I'm gonna wait for you now. You're approaching me, but I'm backing up. So now what? And you're like, get over here, you asshole. But the overall steady and smooth progression. I will say that now that I've encountered, I guess what are they called? Seals? The weapons, essentially. Crests. Right. So far, I've gotten the crest of the Hunter, the Reaper, the Wanderer, and the Beast.
Those are the 4 in Act 1.
Okay. it's been very easy for me to not spend my crest unlocking pouch things because there's a winner for me.
Yeah, which one is it?
The fucking the Reaper is just the winner for me.
It has a really good pogo, and if you like silk skills, yeah, you get to use them a lot.
So the default has the pogo that is just not quite what I want. If it was a full dive kick, I'd love it, but it's short, and that makes me annoyed. The Wanderer is very familiar, as it ought to be. Nothing wrong
It
with
has
that.
the highest DPS because of the swing speed, but the range is terrible.
Yeah. And I just played Hollow Knight, so that's fine. I'm not looking for that. Also the mix of shit you carry with it is not what I want either. And Beast, I see the trade-offs,
I see it.
but
I
I
hate it.
hate the kit.
I hate it.
I hate the
Pogo's
kit.
the worst in the game by far.
Yep. Hate that kit. I love the idea of Beast, but boy, does that moveset not do it for me at all. And I think that the ability to like go crazy on healing in rage mode is detrimented by the fact that I'm going to take more damage from this shittier moveset.
So there is a hidden interaction in Silksong with the memory lockets that was not clear to me until really late in the game. Have you got the needle in, right? If you're at the last judge,
Needle in, is that the AoE?
the musical instrument.
Yes.
Okay, so once you have the needle in, you can go to a bunch of places that were locked off beforehand. And one of those has something you should probably go and fucking get.
Okay.
Because it will allow you to find a reason to use those memory lockets, even if you don't care about the fucking things you're using.
Okay. Because like I'd pick up one of these, one of these weapons and go, nope. And that's the end of that.
So what I ended up doing is that I ended up being like, I really don't like Reaper. So I didn't put any in Reaper.
Interesting.
And then I cashed in on Hunter and Wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like, well, I'm just gonna stockpile memory lockets until I get to the next one, and then I'll be able to cash it all the way in. And that's what I ended up doing.
Okay. The reason why I love Reaper the most, it's not the ability, it's the Shoryuken. The Shoryuken, the running slash, is been my go-to for fighting bosses.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And you get to Shoryuken and then Pogo afterwards, right? Which is phenomenally strong.
It's also got a really big fat Pogo.
Yeah. It has a little delay on it, so it's not Hollow Knight timing. But I fucking like. There's so many bosses that I make short work of by doing Shoryuken into slash.
I spent a lot of time with all of them except for Beast, because fuck Beast. They're all really good. Even Beast is really good. I just don't want to actually use it.
Yeah, no. And,
like their trade-offs are really excellent.
And I'm also somebody who in Hollow Knight, my build involved using charms that I use the charm that says you don't move when you slash things, no pushback. I hate moving, right? So Beast is moving me around, and I'm like, oh, you want me to like learn the precise footsies of like the slashing is one thing, the charge slash is another, but that pogo, fuck that forward moving roll bullshit.
Terrible, awful,
right?
Awful.
Which characters?
All of the pogos you can get going forward are all really good.
Okay, because I the moment I saw that, it just killed the whole thing for me. And yeah, and then it's interesting to get these riskier incentives, right? So I went and I picked up the double heal, double time. But if you want to heal big, okay, you're right. Right now, that extra second you're spending could get you killed. but you get
Depends. If you're doing it in the upper right corner where the boss can't hit you at all, that's
right.
entirely different.
But you're only getting that one extra pip out of it right now, or whatever your cap is. So it's almost like, is it really worth the benefit? But that's been good. Yeah, I also I guess it's interesting how the like corpse running and attempts are balanced against each other, in the sense that you can always make your run back, and you can always go try to fight the thing directly. And if you're making use of your tools, however, you're expending a resource that requires you to go explore more to rebuild it, right? So there's corpse running, but there's a limit that eventually asks you or incentivizes you to either A, learn how to do it without tools, or B, continue exploring as a soft, like, hey, if you've gotten all of your chips to 0, maybe go build them back up elsewhere
Somewhere else.
Go somewhere else, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a nice design nudge. That's subtle.
So I was talking to Hitchhiker about how annoying we both found it, that you could run down to 0 tool currency, and we wish that it would just regenerate.
Yeah.
But we ran into the issue is that like some of the tools you can use are like massively broken.
Okay.
Like they're so fucked.
So yeah,
they're so strong.
So as soon as I saw that limit, the first thing I thought was, show me the tool that costs 200, right, to use it. Show me the tool.
It's not tools that cost 200. It's tools that you can only use like 5 times.
Okay.
Before your stock is at 0.
Yeah. So for example, the spike trap, right?
That
I am using the fuck out of that, because you're throwing the trap out while the boss's name is on screen and it's doing its roar.
That's how I broke one of the bosses, by causing his music not to play, because I got it to phase 2 before it activated his music.
The caltrops are wonderful, but the idea that, but what's interesting in how they're balanced again is, not only is it using tools, but you cannot use tools to get silk. So any damage used off of tools is not going to give you healing back. So sit back and zone if you want, pussy, but you ain't gonna get any benefits for it,
Mm-hmm.
Boomerang all day. Enjoy that fucking boomerang.
Yeah, that thing's good, like all the way to the end of the game.
The boomerang, I was really surprised. Right,
it's really, 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 really good.
Because I had the trap and the kunai, and then I mean, actually I found the triple kunai before the single kunai.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. I was like, I picked up the single kunai and I was like,
that's a straight upgrade. That is a straight upgrade.
I'm like, why would I ever use this? I already have the triple, because I did the bird area first, and then I went back and did the puzzle. But and then there's the speed juice, and I was like, yeah, I don't want that as much as I want the ability to make the thing on the other side of the screen die from time to time.
So to every single thing that you have mentioned, there is a different thing you can combine with it that makes it like way better.
Okay. Well,
right, like the speed juice is pretty good on its own, but there's another tool you can use with it that makes it like
okay. So I didn't use it yet, but like I did just get the poison. So
I use the poison for 95% of the game.
Okay, I just got it. I haven't tried it out yet, but
any tool that hits will cause 3 ticks of damage. That is like 3 nail hits.
Oh, over time?
Yeah, it goes,
and then it's gone.
And that's gone, and then you reapply it.
Okay. So it's not extended dots, but it's like it's just a little bit extra. That's great.
Someone
great.
in the chat asks, if you combine poison with fleet juice, does it make your attacks poison? No, but you can combine it with something else that will make your attacks poison.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like I don't know, if you put like, hey, Wooly, say you put down the tax, and the tax all do poison. That means you're going to be doing attack damage, and then you're going to be doing poison damage per tick, or as long as they get hit by the tax.
Yes, yeah.
So it's crazy. It's insanely strong. It's one of the best of the blue tools in the game. It's incredible.
Yeah, that sounded pretty phenomenal. And also shout outs to breakable equipment that heals at a bench, right? I'm like, oh, anytime you play a game where it's like, this will break, and it's either gone forever or you have to go find this one fucker deep in the map to repair it. Like, yeah, I'm just never gonna use that. Like, and the point I left off at in Hollow Knight actually was taking the breakable charms and making them permanent. I was like,
Yeah.
this is too much money. 15,000 is too much. I'm just not gonna go.
So strong.
They're great, but you need me to grind for way too much money. And at a certain point, if I
gave up on it.
Because like if I have to go find a farm spot and then do like a while
do
of
insanity shit,
do a bunch of runs to farm, I'm like, I want to play. Come on, don't make me do this, So anyway, the whole bit with like the fact that you sit back down at that bench, like I'm like, love that. I'll sacrifice the slot for that, Yeah, and then of course there was one area. So in order to get that one thing that cost like 880 in beads, it was like, oh well, there's a bench right here and a couple runs of this in one area. Like, okay, I did do a bit of farming, but it was like less than 10 minutes of it,
So there's gonna be a point in that game where the fucking economy just explodes.
Interesting.
And you're gonna be like, everything costs like 1,000. This is fucking ridiculous. And then you're gonna find the most outrageous grinding spot you've ever found in any game. Like, you cannot avoid it. Everybody runs into it, and you're gonna go,
Okay.
And everybody I know ended up maxing out on items of rosaries in their inventory by cashing them all in.
Okay. So I'm curious about, like, because the game is, so sometimes you get a description on something, but you don't quite know what the deal is. Is walking around with dice gonna make things really good?
It makes things slightly good.
Slightly good. Okay.
It's 14% chance of not taking damage.
Whoa. Okay. That's pretty sick.
It also improves the critical hit rate of the Wanderers thing by 0.2%.
Okay. So there we go. I'm
Which is totally fucking useless, but the dice is good.
Luck is a word in every game that can mean a million things, and it can mean a million things, and it can mean a million percentage values as well. So you just never know what that's going to be.
Yeah. So the dice is the best yellow because it's the only yellow that makes you physically stronger. The dice gives you 13% more health, which it's the best yellow.
For every time it doesn't reduce, the chances increase.
Statistically, over time, it will give you 13% more health.
Okay. Is it true? Is it a true random, or is there
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Who the fuck knows?
Interesting. Okay. That's I went from, because I'm looking at the blues and I was like, there is nothing here I even want to waste a second slot on.
Dude, I got so frustrated at the end of the game because I had everything. I had absolutely everything. And I'm looking at the list. I'm like, man, I wish I could just make a fucking build that was like fucking 6 blues and 0 yellows. Like, blues are so much better than yellows.
I went from having, like the blue things in, I guess assuming that the gate I'm at is pretty much Act 1.
It is.
Yeah, so it feels that way because it feels like it's like I've done the areas and mapped out.
Oh no, you've missed a shit ton of stuff you could do right now.
Oh, sick. Okay. Well,
because there's multiple ways into Act 1, into Act 2. Interesting.
Okay. Well, from what it feels like with this little container of a couple areas here, I had no interesting blues. I just had whatever the fuck the first one was. It was like there was like pips.
It's like the magma one and the don't take damage when you're healing one, and
I had like you get extra green silk for damage you take.
I hate that
It
fucking
was
thing.
useless. It was so bad. I was
Don't
like,
like it.
I was like, fuck blue. I have no need for blue. There was the one thing I cared about on it, and then now I'm like, oh my god, all the blues. I can't juggle how many blues I want. You know.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I wish that you could. So am I correct in that, like, in Hollow Knight you could charge and you could do a charged slash in any direction? I believe you could, right?
Can't remember.
I
Can't remember.
I think you. I might be misremembering, but I think you can charge and release in any direction. No, was that right? Am I misremembering that?
You might be insane.
Okay.
It's possible.
Because I certainly do wish it would be nice if you could do a charge slash pogo, you know, or a charged up or whatever the case is.
There is a crest that will allow you to do a charge slash pogo.
Okay, that was an upgrade.
Kind of.
There's an upgrade. Okay.
Kind of.
Right. And then of course, yes, the other thing is I used to use charges. I used to use charms that were like speed up that fucking charge, speed up that process, and that's what
That charm exists.
I can't wait, because holy fuck, I'm feeling the slowness of this. Right.
Get ready to fucking wait.
Because I'll tell you this.
Look at my eyes. Get ready to wait on that one. On that one specifically, get the fuck ready.
So like there's a deep rooted timing inside of my heart and soul, and that is, if I hold a button down and it takes longer than the sound of the Mega Man X Buster charging in my head.
I 100% totally understand exactly what you mean.
I don't want it. I don't want it at all. It's more annoying to me if it takes longer than the.
I did not use charge text very often. I tell you what.
That is the timing. It needs to be the X Buster, or it can fuck out of my life. When you're using charge attacks against bosses and you're choosing between charging or another versatile option, it sucks when you're like, oh fuck, I was too busy trying to get my charge here, I didn't properly heal, I didn't properly get the tool out, etc. And everything about Hollow Knight that led to me putting healing on R1, like, I'm still having that problem now, because I was like, shit, I wanted to put a caltrop out, and instead you have to swap one or the other, right? So you can choose to basically keep a charge and then cancel it to a heal, or keep a charge and cancel to a tool, but you got to pick which one you want.
It takes too long by default. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Learning the patterns and just taking pot shots, single shots off over time is a pretty.
Would you like me to point you to the zone where you can get the game's most important upgrade that is completely hidden from you entirely, that you could go through the entire game and miss out on, and it would be a massive problem if you missed out, that you can get right now? Just the zone. When
you preface it like that, then yeah.
Yeah, go back to Bone Bottom.
Okay.
And the Moss Grotto.
Okay. Jesus. Yeah. What were some of the other things?
Am I wrong, chat? Live chat? Am I wrong?
Fair enough. So there was that with the moveset. That fight against the worm, the Weaver, was pretty sick. I enjoyed the Widow. Yeah, enjoyed that.
That shit fucking rules,
man.
That
was really, really fun to get to the final phase when it's all escalating and the music is popping and you're like, this is anytime a phase. I love there's a great moment with the bosses in this, and a good Souls game too, where when the final phase, you go, get the fuck out of here, that's impossible, right? You're like, no way, what is happening? That's too much. And then like 2 tries later, you're like, oh wait, I see it.
I can see it.
I see it. Yeah. Through the chaos, you're like, oh, it's not chaos actually. It's still a pattern. It's just
a really loud pattern.
It's a loud, long pattern that requires your eyes to look for the lines and listen for the sounds and look for the cues and look for her animation. Is she starting the dash up while the white lines are appearing? While the bounces? Did you count the bounces?
So when I beat when I beat like the final boss, when I beat Widow, when I beat Last Judge, it took me a while, but the times that I did it, I'm like, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love fucking Neo out here just dodging all of their fucking bullshit.
And knowing that I'm like, okay, my goal is to not be there when the problem is there. However, if I happen to fuck up and be there and the problem is suddenly here, quickly try to slash parry that. You know?
Or the within a couple frames of your pogo, you are invincible. And the first like 5 or 6 frames of your roll in the air, you're invincible. So if you pogo, hit, and then roll as soon as the hit happens, you can roll through enemies
Iframes.
in the air.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's
Okay.
tight though. It is very tight. You need to be moving through them.
There's iframes on the pogo. Wow.
Yeah. It's
On
very small.
on
It's
this,
just to make sure that the pogo doesn't keep you from launching into the contact damage on a successful hit.
okay, so it's not the startup, but the active.
It's after the hit.
Okay.
Because if you pogo while the boss is moving, the boss can move into you. So they don't want you to get hit on the hit. That's fucking stupid.
While you're inside of them.
It's very small. It's like 2 frames. It's really minor.
Interesting. Okay. There was another boss there too that had a really chaotic second phase. What the fuck was it? It was a good one. Shit, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, no. I will say too as well that I'm enjoying the pacing of this a lot more than Hollow Knight. I'm enjoying the so I mean, so far, you know, like again, it's like the hours are getting put in, but I just it's a rewarding sense of like, okay, do I want to go back and, you know, like scrape this area now that I have the wall climb, or do I want to go spend the money on this upgrade over here, go back and shop over there? Like, there's always a good sense of like, you know, exploring the map out in a balanced way that I'm feeling as I'm going through it, you know?
How you feel like you're about halfway through?
Well, I mean, no, after the conversations we've been having,
So the issue I had, I felt like I was halfway through the whole game.
Yeah, okay.
It was only at like the 99% mark where I was like, oh no, I'm about to do it. I'm about to be done.
Okay, so without the conversations we were having, I wouldn't feel that way simply because I would feel I would be syncing my expectations to the amount of fights with Lace that I have. Right? So I am currently waiting for, if I hit Lace 2, then I go, okay, well that means 2/3, right? That
doesn't mean that.
No, but it should.
It could. It should.
It ought to
mean that.
Right?
It could not mean that.
Yeah, it could not mean that, but you know, if you do that and Beowulf is lying at the floor on the floor afterwards, you know what I mean? Then, like, you know, it's like I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of putting my rival battles as your spacers, but
it's a reasonable way to break that down.
A nice fight for every act would be good.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah. But no, so far it's absolutely phenomenal with that stuff. And I do wish that like these things, like those aspects that I don't want to use, it sucks that it's such a big part of the game that I'm just going to completely ignore. And you know, I guess
aspect the crests.
The crests, excuse me. Yeah.
I got lucky. I liked 6 of the 7. Sorry, I liked 5 of the 7.
Okay.
And there were 3 that I really liked. There's one that is straight up better. There's one that's broken. Like fucked up that it got into the game this way. But it's kind of awesome that it is. I stopped using it. I started to use it and was like, oh, I want to play the game. I'm going to stop using this fucking thing.
I guess, you know, when you think of Souls weapons, right, you're like, There if you're going, whatever it is you can push towards, like the best dex weapon or the best strength weapon, or whatever the case is. By the end, you're swinging the best dex weapon around or the best strength weapon around, and the things you're fighting are just dying, and you're seeing that like numeric value increase here. With this, like, you just gotta, like, you're gonna have to rely on that pogo way more often for platforming and other things that are not combat, for defense.
Well, also, platforming is part of combat.
Yes, but that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Where I'm like, the weak sides of the kit of each crest are way more pronounced than in a Souls game where you can just ignore that move you never use. With that, you can take the kit.
No, you need every move.
You need every move, right? You can ignore the moves you don't want in Souls games on the weapon that you're using that are useless, but not here. You need them all, and you need all those angles. The fact that the Reaper has a overslash and an underslash is already like not ideal for some situations, depending on where the enemy is positioned.
Oh, I've missed enemies that are right next to me because it underslashes, and I'm like, they're above me, man.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all. Again, it's all in the balance. So fun stuff there. That's about it. Cool.
You want to thank some sponsors?
Let's do it.
Then afterwards, we got to blitz through news because I feel like I'm going to die.
All right. This week, the podcast is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN is my favorite VPN I've ever used. There's absolutely no question.
It's real simple, folks. There's a lot of ways that people online can steal your data and information and sell it for money, because that's what the internet has become. It is a Wild West, and people are out there. There are 12-year-olds on Wi-Fi at McDonald's that are trying to get your information and sell it. And I would argue that 12-year-old at McDonald's has a setup that might be as sophisticated as your ISP, who is also trying to sell your information. Data brokers, middlemen, all these folks collecting your digital footprints can cash out. In fact, in America, they're also selling information to the Department of Homeland Security and the IRS. So data brokers are out there selling.
They should have to ask for that. That's not,
Yeah, well, putting a cash value on that information incentivizes people to be shitty. That sucks. So all of this you can avoid with ExpressVPN, because with the click of a button, you're going to turn on your ability to not have them track that info. You can have a unique IP address that hides the information about your location, and you can stop the tracking from data brokers that monetize your private online activity. It's going to encrypt 100% of your network traffic, keep you safe from all the aforementioned, plus hackers and so on. You can have ExpressVPN work on all your devices, phone, laptop, tablet, you name it, etc. One tap of a button and you turn it on and you're protected. And yeah, I can say that, my preferred use case, every week I am regularly just turning that on to see some stuff that is like, hey, I want to read the news over here. I'm not allowed to because I'm not in the UK. Yes, I am. Leave me alone. Oh, I'm in America. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm in New Zealand. I'm all over the world. It's great. I can watch whatever. I can read whatever. And it's a single button press to do it. So super handy. You can secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/superbeast. That's express.com/superbeast to find out how you can get up to 4 extra months. expressvpn.com/superbeast. Thanks, ExpressVPN.
Thanks, ExpressVPN.
Okay. This week, the podcast is sponsored by Rocket Money. And
Rocket Money, what's up, man?
Rocket Money is the very simple and convenient way to track any online subscriptions you might have forgotten about, any online subscriptions that have changed their price, anything that you've signed up for. In this day and age, there's tons of services that are expecting you to forget that you've signed up for them. There's a lot of apps. There's a lot of websites that basically are like, click here, have an auto deduct, go, and then you might completely forget about it. Worse, they might change the price on you and you don't notice that it increased, and all of a sudden you're losing money and you're not able to keep track of your budget and you don't know what happened. Um, Really simple way to take care of that is with Rocket Money. You click in and it's able to show you right off the bat, hey, look, this payment processor or this site that is charging you, they changed their name, whatever else is going on. You can see all of that in one overview. And if you're trying to budget and get your savings together, it's a really convenient way to do that. As somebody who is, I've had the trouble of not being able to unsubscribe from services online who've tried to put me through the ringer, jump through hoops, go through complex websites, use your email, use the website, have a timer link, all this annoying stuff that's basically trying to convince you to be too frustrated to bother unsubscribing. They can unsubscribe for you. So if there's stuff if there are websites or services that are complex or overwhelming, Rocket Money can even help you unsubscribe from those services as well. Not to mention, of course, the overview of your monthly finances and the your budgeting and keeping your overview on like how you're spending that money and stuff. So, Rocket Money's 5 million members have saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, and members have saved up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. So that's pretty useful. Cancel your unwanted. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Download the Rocket Money app, enter the show name Castle Super Beast in the survey so they know we sent you. Don't wait, download the Rocket Money app today and tell them you heard about them from our show, from Castle Super Beast.
Thanks, Rocket Money.
Thank you. Excuse me, got some congestion. As we load up here, this week we got a new sponsor.
Ooh, new sponsor.
Indeed. This week the podcast is sponsored by Huel.
Huel?
Huel. That's like Huel. It's like fuel with an H.
Oh.
And that is straight up the ability to save time and take care of getting a satisfying meal with a protein powder drink that you can take care of in the morning. It's really, really useful.
That sounds like it would actually be really useful, because when I wake up in the morning with the baby, I'm like a zombie.
So I have saved tons of time, and I've had a much easier time when I was tracking when I was trying to get healthier, when I was dealing with my diabetes, when I was trying to manage my weight and make sure that I knew what I was putting into my body. The ability to just have a shake that you can quickly drink down, you feel satiated as well, it tastes good, all of that is really beneficial. And that's exactly what you're getting here. So when you're busy, when time's tough to come by for meeting your goals, and you're trying to put together your day and figure that stuff out, it was nice. It was definitely nice for me to be able to do that and manage everything, know exactly what I'm getting. And Huel is getting you that. It's a complete meal so that you feel full, focused, and ready for your day. The Black Edition powder in particular, you're talking about less than $3 a meal, packed with 40 grams of plant-based protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, no added sugar, gluten-free, tastes great with flavors like salted caramel, chocolate, and it keeps you full for hours. So it can be perfect for breakfast, lunch, or post-workout. It's really nice to just be like, I've got a hunger craving or a pang, and I kind of, I want to get the vitamins, the nutrients inside me, and not worry about not eating like crap or taking too much time to go out of your way for that.
This seems like a good way for me to avoid snake meal.
It is. Snake meals are bad.
But I love snake meal.
Snake meals, excuse me. Don't do that. If you can get yourself a convenient way to drink a shake that tastes good and get all of your protein and all your vitamins and everything in there. And you're not dealing with like a sugar spike or any of that stuff as well. It's phenomenal. I absolutely, um, you know, co-sign and I'm encouraging folks to like use this. And not to mention the fact that like it also feels nice when the food noise goes away, you know. And I feel like when you drink a shake and it's like, okay, your body's like, oh yeah, I'm full, I got what I need here, you know. um it's particularly useful to just like have that all kind of calm down. um and yeah, you know, just when you thought they had everything covered as well, they've also got a super greens drink in a can. So if you're looking for your daily greens as well, Huel Daily Greens Ready to Drink is exactly as it described. So no mixing, no mess. It's just quick and convenient. And no compromising of the nutrients either. You can go with flavors like apple, blueberry, peach. It actually tastes great. 42 vitamins, minerals, superfoods, and only 25 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar. Made by dietitians. That's crazy. If you're
A
paying it,
single gram of sugar? That's hilarious.
if you are paying attention to your numbers, if you're somebody that's looking at your input and output, 25 calories and 4 grams of fiber with 1 of sugar is phenomenal. Fiber is great for you in this case, and the ability to get all the greens in you that you're probably neglecting if you're gremlin gaming. You know. There have been stretches of my life where I'm embarrassed to say that I have had way too many days go by without a green thing going into my body. You know, sometimes you have a week that's just
why I
like,
drink green monsters, man.
yeah, it's no, it sucks. It sucks when a week goes by and you're like, oh, everything I ate this week was red or white, you know, or brown. And
Those are good food colors, man.
but green, your body really wants you to eat green, you know. It'll thank you for it. So yeah, make eating healthy simple. Try both today. You want to get in on Huel, and you can get 15% off your purchase for new customers with our exclusive code CASTLE at huel.com/castle. So one more time, use our code and fill out the post-checkout survey. Help support the show. Tell them we sent you. You go to huel.com/castle, and you're going to get 15% off your purchase for new customers. I really, really do like shakes as you know, tasty shakes that can fill you up and take care of that problem you might have managing your food. I'll highly encourage this, so check them out. Thanks, Huel.
Thank you, Huel. And I really enjoy saying the word Huel.
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 All right. So yes, we touched on it a little earlier with 2XKO, but they dropped the early access update.
We're going closed beta to early access.
Straight up. So the bummer about this is I was hoping that the next phase would be console ready, but
it's not, weirdly.
It's not. So console is going to miss out on this first early access phase. So still not done yet, but October 7th closed beta is ending and early access begins. Basically, that's going to be one last content reset.
Everything going after that will keep forever.
Yep. And they've introduced, so what are we going to get? We're going to get a battle pass. We're going to get combo trials. We're going to get the cosmetics. I saw a Vi outfit that was like,
God awful. God awful. It's the worst Vi outfit in League, and it's the worst Vi outfit here.
So I saw, apparently in League of Legends, people are like, oh, it's that same one that we've all hated for a long time.
No, the worst one.
God damn it. But with this comes the explanation that there will be 5 seasons per year, and each season will come with a new champ. So,
including the one starting on October 7th.
So October 7th, hey, guess what? It's going to be fucking Teemo.
It's Teemo Day.
Yeah. And then now we
on
have...
that day, the game will become good.
And just those goalposts are now attached to your back, by the way.
Oh yeah, no. Goalpost 1 is Blitzcrank. Goalpost 2 is Teemo. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Yes, done and done. My goalposts were Alawi and Vi, so we're set. Valawi for life. But no, I do see here that if you do some quick maths, what this tells us is 5 per year, and you know what? That's fair.
That's probably the right number.
I would say that consider 5 per year is what we would consider standard in a fighting game. You want to, like, the fact that you had some season passes that came out with 4 was like, Street Fighter, that sucks. You kind of hope it's at least 5 each time. I think going above that is like always, that's great if you could get 6 or whatever, but I don't know how many things are able to deliver that. I think 5 per year per each season is reasonable. And
4 would have felt too small, and 6 would probably be unreasonable.
I think I could imagine, right? And yeah, 5 seasons in a year means you're getting you're getting a basically 2.5 months for each character, which is a decent turnaround, I'd say. I think that's
someone said that this means at the end of 2026 we'll only have 15. That's not true, because Teemo's coming out in 2025, so at the end of 2026 there will be 16 characters.
And alongside this announcement, there was also which is cool. This is nice. I was kind of wondering what they're going to do with the official stuff, and there's going to be sponsored local tournaments. Community run events are going to have the First Impact program, which is like, hey,
that's cool.
That's nice. Bonus prize for duos that win the tournaments, which is encouraging people to go and sign up as 2, which is cool. I like that idea.
How is the bonus prize fucking double the fucking cash?
No, but
then that's wrong then.
Depends. Could you win solo? I don't know. What if you are a team of 2 but you're playing Juggernaut? What if someone sits there and then just collects the prize?
Yeah. I'm helping.
Yeah. So I think that's a reasonable start, and we'll see what happens because of course the thing that every we've established with each game as it starts is like, okay, are you going to do that $1 million grand prize? What's the situation going to be for that stuff? But keeping it encouraging on the locals is good. I think now more than ever is a time when locals being supported is extra important, because to quote Giuna, who had one of the better takes talking about all the recent Saudi nonsense and bullshit going on with FGC stuff and the buyout.
Yeah,
you can go chase the esports bag, but make sure to support your actual local community, because once that esports bag dries up, because the people who are buying it are not invested in the long-term future of the games or community, once that goes away and the fad is over and the cash is no longer something that they're willing to sports wash over, then you're going to only have your local communities left. And if they dried up and are husks of what they used to be, you have nowhere to turn. So now more than ever, it's important to support that shit. That being said, shout outs to UMAD that ran this weekend. I saw Reggie jumped on commentary with Jimmy Bones for a bit there. Seems to be doing all right. So that was what we got from the official announcement. Then there were some unofficial announcements that occurred.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. But this time around, a little more credible. A little more. These are not unplanned. This is not planned. There's a little more in the traditional sense. A data miner has cracked open the code, and it looks like we've got voice lines for characters that are not in the game yet.
Yeah, so Warwick and Caitlyn are obvious because they're in Arcane.
So I did not know that their dad was a Wolfman character from the original base game. I had no idea that was a thing.
He's not.
That's an original character?
No, it's only from Arcane.
But there's a Wolfman called Warwick in League of Legends.
Yeah, and in League of Legends, he's not their dad.
Oh, the connection is from Arcane. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. But the Tailbane Wolfman existed already. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, he's a jungler, man.
So, but Arcane just calls him whatchamacallit? What's her dad's name?
Vander.
Arcane
Which
just
is
calls.
why some of the dialogue in those leaks, she's like, "Can I call you Vander instead?"
Okay.
But Vander is a character that only exists in Arcane.
In Arcane, for any of you guys that knows League, were the back electric things or whatever kind of like, did that clue you in that there was a connection to the Wolfman at all, or is this just like out of nowhere?
No, it's the fucking Wolfman, and then Arcane was like, let's connect these things.
What I mean to say is, while watching Arcane, did you catch that they were making Vander into Warwick?
Yeah, people predicted it. People predicted it in episode 3 of season 1.
Okay, gotcha.
I predicted it in episode 3 of season 1, and I don't even fucking play League.
Gotcha. Okay. So then there's that, and then there's a bunch of making fun of Caitlyn and her hat, and cops and stuff. So it's like, okay, those are coming. And then there's the voice lines that are just ripped raw from the game, that are like from League of Legends directly, including Thresh, Riven, Cassiopeia.
Really?
There is a snake lady voice going. So you might be
There's no fucking way Cassio is gonna make it to that fucking game.
That's
placeholder for sure.
The sound effects that were pulled from the data are Riven, Thresh, Cassiopeia, Olaf, Katarina, and Rise.
Okay, so I would have told you
Riven.
They'd all, Rise would,
So is Rise like a kind of blue zombie, or what is, like, he's just, I see a ghost undead looking guy with like blue aura, and he looks like, I can't quite tell what his deal is, but he looks like
I don't give a shit at him about it. He's a wizard.
Okay. That's a freak.
Riven's a fighting game character, though.
Her sword grows, right? It looks like a sword that's detached in pieces. Okay. Yeah. He's a Runeterra wizard. Okay. Olaf is a Viking. That appears to be a Viking.
I can tell you, there's some loser picks on that for the list, so I hope they get thrown in the trash.
Thresh, I think everyone was talking about the whole time.
Thresh would be the because Thresh provides the box for your fighting game. Thresh's big deal is that he puts you in the box, and you can't leave the box or you die.
Okay. Is Thresh like a necromancer, or like a?
He's like an evil shithead zombie.
But his kit is about restricting your movement.
Yeah. He's a hook guy like Blitz.
Okay.
But instead of playing top, he plays support.
Okay.
He's a healer.
What you know about this snack lady? What's going on?
I know I don't give a fuck about her at all.
What's going on with snack?
I don't give a shit.
No, nothing for the snack though.
No, man.
Okay, well,
I would have expected you to say like Pike. Pike's all right.
Which one's that?
Pike's like a thief that swims around and stabs you with fish stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a design. Sure.
You want a fucking winner? You put Tom Kench in there, man.
TOM.
TAHM space KENCH.
Oh yeah.
That dude fucking rules.
Oh yeah, that's a Skullgirls character. That guy's in the background of one of the Skullgirls stages.
Kicks ass, dude.
Hell yeah, that's phenomenal.
Fiddlesticks needs to be in there. I could put out a list for you, and I barely play League, and I feel like even though everyone has different favorites, there's like a huge amount of characters that almost everyone would agree are absolute slam fucking dunks. It's weird they have not talked about a character named Set. He is a pro wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's fucking strange that he did no one, or Samira. Samira, is that my thing? Yeah, Samira. Yeah.
Oh, buff shirtless man.
No, not Samira. The other
Set,
one.
sitting on his throne. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Samira appears to be gun lady.
Yeah, it's not. She's Dante.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's literally Dante.
I mean, I said before I saw the Lee Sin monk man as well. You know, I think there's some.
Fuck Lee Sin.
No.
Fuck you.
No martial arts.
Oh no, you get martial arts in there, but fuck Lee Sin.
In League?
He's gonna go fuck his ass.
In League specifically?
Boring as shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Established hatred, right?
No, he's fucking boring and lame.
A blind monk doing martial arts is I mean, I'm interested
on that roster. He ends up being really, really dull.
Okay. Because I'm thinking of Iron Fist in Marvel. You know, like I think that shit's dope. I'm down.
They should put Azir in the fucking game. That'd be fucking awesome. The sand clones and shit.
But I would love to see a necromancer that like, you know, has puppet characters that could like.
That's Azir. That's the character I just said.
Yeah. Okay. That would be great.
Azir and Viego would be like that. Or
that'd be fun.
Oh, what's the guy? Yorick? Yeah, Yorick. Oh, he's cool.
Notably, absent from this leak list is Garen, right?
Garen will never. the only possibility of Garen entering into 2XKO is as a costume for
costume for Darius. Yeah, alt costumes. Mm-hmm.
Similarly, Nautilus and Blitzcrank have so much overlap that the only way Nautilus is going to get in is as a costume for Blitz.
Okay, so this is my thought, right? How upset would, as a person who doesn't give a fuck, I'm like, that would be, I could see there being like a full skin line and like kit adjustment, so you have an Echo Fighter in the form of Garen for Darius, right? But would fans of Garen
luckily there are no fans of Garen.
So would people that are fans of the original character be upset with them being Echo Fighters to fit them in there?
I think that Garen fans would be unable to complain from within their beige rooms with no music while eating their untoasted white bread.
Because I don't know how many Echo Fighters could exist off the main roster, but in terms of scratching the itch of like people being satisfied with having one or the other, that could be something, right? At the same time, though, like you got to put Ryu and Ken on two different slots on that character select screen in Smash, right? You got to have Simon and Richter on their own slots, right? So if you pick Darius and then it's like, oh, Garen outfit and color, that's probably not the best way to show people like that are looking for that character right off the bat. But are there that many Echo Fighters that could exist off of these characters?
No, there's some people that have like really, really obvious overlap, but like a lot of them are very unique.
So, okay, I saw a dude that looked like Thresh but wasn't Thresh.
Was it Hot Thresh?
No. It was a green demon looking thing.
There's 4 different characters that could be. You could be talking about Mordekaiser. You could be talking about Callista. You could be talking about
Hecarim. Is it Hecarim?
Hecarim. Yeah, Hecarim's a centaur.
Let me get a better look.
Hecarim's a centaur that shoots ghosts at you.
Oh, he's mounted on there's 4 legs there. Okay. I didn't see the rest of the body. I just saw dark and green glowing on a black background.
Color/ghost aesthetic is for every single like ghost person from the Sunken Isles. It's like a regional thing.
Okay. And then
bunch of ghosts.
Okay. Yeah, the art style, it was just, I just saw glowing. I didn't see the legs there. But what I am seeing is people going like
Yeah, I'll play fucking Hikara, man. Fucking Centaur. Yeah, let's do it.
the shortened term for P and Z, Piltover in
Piltover and Zahn. Yeah.
Zon. Yeah, being like, no, too much P and Z.
Oh yeah, no, they need to stop that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And by the way, Warwick and Kate are also from Piltover and Zahn.
Okay. Yeah.
That would make like the roster like 60-70% Piltover and Zahn, and like another 20% being like Shurima.
Yeah.
It's way too much. They need like Ilawi's the only person from the Sunken Isles. Noxus is the only person from Darius is the only person from Noxus. They need more characters from different regions. Braum is the only person from Freylord.
Arcane's the most popular thing related to League that's spin off,
Absolutely,
spun off of
100%.
it.
Every single character in that is going to get in eventually.
Yeah,
Every single one.
And then Runeterra second, and then the Sunken Isles.
Yeah, Sunken Isles is fairly popular. Everyone in Sunken Isles is in the game right now except for Misfortune.
Okay.
Like the starting lineup for 2XKO was like, did you play Sunken Isles? No, not Sunken Isles. Sorry, Ruined King.
Okay. Because I'm trying to, because what I don't know is like, I know Arcane's very popular. What I don't know is like the level of course we're gonna do Arcane. It's the most popular thing ever. What are you, stupid? Like,
yeah, no, they have to be careful with that, because like that is a horribly one-sided roster.
That's quite what I'm wondering is like what that ends up looking like.
Very one-sided.
Yeah. No, that big dumb fish guy looks cool. I'd be that's fun. That's fun.
There's some real winners in that roster.
But for now, this is what the leaks are showing. So interesting.
I would believe the ones that have Jinx voice lines talking to them a lot more than the ones that are just placeholder from actual League.
1,000,000%, because a grunt and a sound effect doesn't necessarily confirm anything for sure. But you do get voice actors to record lines in advance so that you don't have to do multiple sessions and come back on it in an inconvenient way. All right, moving on from there, we got to see the CG horses, baby.
Yeah,
they look great.
In Steel Ball Run, they're gonna do the horsies. They're gonna do it.
First trailer dropped just today, and the CG horses look like they work just great. So they did all their tests, perfect. We got a preview of the voices as well. Up till now, these characters were all just voiced in our heads, and then later into the game in All-Star Battle and stuff. But what we heard is pretty interesting. I never would have imagined it, but Mr. Steel is voiced by Abdul in part 3, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it works. I can see that. And then Gyro, he does the fucking smile with the grills, and he drops a little "Nyaha," and I was like, yeah, all right. I just need to hear the laugh, and you're satisfied, right? It's kind of, that sold me on it. I'm curious to see what the other voices are going to sound like. Johnny sounds like a desperate main character full of burning vigor. So that's fantastic as well. Yeah, the only thing I can say is I love the big band sax sound that is staple to the JoJo themes. And this is a new, when you hear the music in the background of this trailer, you hear like a big saxy, like it's cool. But fuck me, I want way more Western guitar strumming for this story, for this. I want to hear cowboy music over the horses and the hats and the dusty trails over this. So I really hope that they don't kind of like lean too much into the same big band sound for the identity of JoJo without bringing enough cowboy to it. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's only a tiny little
sliver of one song, yeah. But it would be really cool to get like an intro that's kind of like Ennio Morricone sort of themed, that would be great. Or is it Enrico? Did I get that wrong? Enrico?
I thought it was Ennio.
I think it's Ennio as well, but yeah, I was right. Ennio Morricone. So we're gonna get some hopefully spaghetti western music kicking in there at some point. Uh, I also like, yeah, there's a little just kind of seeing some of those scenes and sights and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. Best part incoming. Like I want to hear that line read of the first line, you know, which I don't know if you know it, but like the first line in the first line in Steel Ball Run is, "This is the story of how I learned to walk,"
Mm.
which
Does
is
he learn to walk?
which is fucking great. Oh yeah, he like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
It's bars. It's fucking bars. Steel Ball Run is so good, dude. Yeah, you want to put your hands up and Scorsese it. Speaking of absolute cinema, Kojima Productions had its 10th anniversary live stream, Beyond the Strand, and they dropped a bunch of promos for all those Koji Pro products that
Hey, dude, we're gonna do PT anyway.
we're doing it anyway though.
We're just gonna do it anyway. Fuck you.
Okay, you know what's unfair? What's the fucking sound of a crying baby doesn't fucking hit the same anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Now the sound of a crying baby is a real deep guttural problem. I hate it. It makes me so much more uncomfortable than ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally the opposite.
Oh, it means nothing?
I was much more unnerved about babies crying before I heard one a lot.
Okay. So there's levels to it. The sound of a baby crying before was bad, but now when I know what the fake cry is, I'm like, oh, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
Then level 2 is, oh, okay, something's wrong. And the high-pitched shrill is like, oh my God, get over there.
Yeah, but then I'm like, well, it's not mine though.
Okay, well, no. I know I am no longer heightened by the sound of a low-level level 1 cry, and a level 2 cry is manageable. Level 3 to level 5 are a problem, you know. I didn't even know there was a level 5. I discovered for the first time as we get a month into this thing. We got to see as well, first person, it's horror. Hey, guess what? Sounds behind you, whispers, a creepy table of candles.
First person walking through doors.
And some shit coming up behind you is terrifying. Yeah, Kojima still knows how to make you shit your pants. No problem.
You're gonna poopy your pants.
Great.
Gonna poop.
Then we saw a poster for Fizzint, the tactical espionage action game. And fuck me, that's a cool poster with a cool character, and it says, "Here comes the feeling." And yeah,
I definitely don't miss Solid Snake. I don't miss him at all.
No. Well, look at the jacket though, right? This is different. This is a different guy with a cool jacket.
No, it's not. It's the same fucking guy.
He's got a coat. Shut up. That looks cool. That I'm like, whatever is going on with the other stuff, deep down inside, like I'm gonna make my own Snake with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. Again and again and again and again.
You can't stop me. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's see what the deal is. I wonder if Fizzint's twists are gonna just play off of being not Snake in certain moments. You know. Like,
yeah, maybe.
The twist is that I'm just expecting you to expect Metal Gear. Then we got a little more about the Death Stranding film adaptation. Hooray, it's going to be an original story set in the world of the games. So,
okay, good.
Not adapting them directly.
Good, don't adapt it. That'd be stupid.
That'd be stupid. And it's an A24 film, so, you know, you're going to get that kind of indie budget feeling, I suppose. But the complementary story that does not have to fuck with any of the existing continuity or canon or whatever, great, is always the best way to approach this. And then they dropped a trailer for the anime they're working on as well, called Mosquito, which...
Is that Sam that guy's fighting?
I don't think it is. He has a little ponytail.
He has
But
a little hair bun.
that doesn't look like Sam. That doesn't look like
I don't
anime
know. The
Sam.
art style is quite quite distinctive. It could be Sam.
But Sam can't do anime slide run punches like that.
Oh, dude, everyone in that anime is gonna be able to do that shit.
Okay,
That's
well,
just how it is when you draw it in that art style.
it is weird to see that art style with the characters are moving like fucking My Hero Academia characters doing sliding attacks to each other, but it's just porters punching each other.
Also, yeah,
Um,
wait a second. Sam can do like a Superman punch while like carrying like 250 kilos of shit. Like
oh
you're
yeah.
absolutely nuts. Sam's a beast.
Okay, well, the Sam I'm thinking of in my Death Stranding 1 game is the guy that, he has weight on his back, but he still rucks and trucks and shoots and drives.
Yeah, but
and
think about how much weight you could put on your back before like falling over,
okay, but
and then
but what
like the punches you could still throw.
sure, but like the hypothetical versus Snake who backflips off the missile, right?
I'm gonna just tell you this right now. In Death Stranding 2, Sam has a bunch of fucking moves.
Okay.
He's got moves, dog.
Okay.
There's a lot.
That I don't know them yet.
He can do a Psycho Crusher.
That's sick. That's hot. We saw all of that, and yeah, that's cool. And some of the cast as well, for Fizzint. But sounds fine. Knock is OD's title or subtitle. OD Knock.
No, I think that's the name of the trailer.
Is that what it is? Okay, the Knock trailer.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing that hyper pretentious thing where it's like, this is the Knock trailer.
Okay. And then showing face scans of the character's mocap seems to be the early promo material for all this stuff. So, I'm really excited to see this jacket design in Fizzint more than anything today. Like the coolest thing I saw today was that coat, and I want to see that rotated around, and I want to see if this poster is going to live up to the energy, or if it's going to be another situation where the concept art is so much sicker than the 3D model could ever deliver.
I don't think it's going to be able to live up to that piece of art floating around, man. That piece of art doesn't have to like coexist with gravity or like physics.
Yeah, I just we might in our lifetimes, but I don't think we're gonna get a Yoji Shinkawa game that like truly captures that, because I also don't know how you do that. You know what I mean?
Similar to how like we're never gonna see Yoshitaka Amano's fucking real vision put forth into a game.
No, but the closest you can get is the girl in the egg, that I described the other week.
Even that isn't like his art put to fucking motion. These guys, their art exists in a still form. It's too all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But every once in a while you grasp at it with things like okami and watercolory painterly strokes and shit. So we can see something. My eyes were opened by watching that Slam Dunk movie get Inoue's art style, like not Vagabond level, but like it got to a point that was quite impressive. So I would love to see anything experimental trying it out. Anyway, cool stuff coming from Koji Pro. And then the only other bits were, did you see Ananta? I
did. I saw a little bit of it when we were sitting around.
What the fuck is this?
Some kind of anime thing.
It appears to be a Sony, but everything. It's just anime characters from a gacha game, but
I literally thought it was like Hoyo versus Next fucking game.
But they're making get jokes, and then he's Spider-Man swinging, and then there's GTA and Yakuza bits, and I don't really know what's happening.
I mean, I saw a fox girl with a fat boobs, so I mean, it's probably got some value.
A gacha game with no gacha. What does that even mean? Like, I don't.
Hey, Hey, we'll get to you. You chill. You chill out. I'm being yelled at.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know how to parse anything I saw in that trailer. But it appears to just be a mashup of all things in a nonsense way, and I'm guessing that's the deal. I guess the bit is like we're making fun of everything a little bit, so the genre will suddenly become whatever.
I have no idea. It looks like GTA just animated it.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Boos okay?
He's mad at me because he usually eats at 3:00.
Okay.
But we took our break at an awkward time, so I was planning to finish around now, and so now he's like super pissed, and he's like, "Where's my food, bitch?"
Oh, okay. Well, let's wrap it up then.
As you can see, he can move around real good, despite being horribly crippled.
Okay.
Especially when he's hungry.
I just found that, like, speaking of Sony, the absolute audacity of Tencent in the
they're fighting the lawsuit. Yeah,
it's fucking Horizon Zero Dawn. Sony is suing Tencent for the Light of Motiram, which has the fucking Horizon Zero Dawn at Home story that we told you a couple weeks ago, where it's just like,
yeah, and they're like, nah, man, that shit's legit as hell.
They're actually fighting it. They're going, no, it's not a clone, and how dare you accuse us of that?
How dare you?
And Sony's not aimed at fighting off piracy or plagiarism or any genuine intellectual property threat. This is an attempt to fence off a well-trodden corner of pop culture and declare it Sony's exclusive domain.
Yeah, bro.
They're sitting smugly and filing their motion to dismiss, going, this is totally original and Sony doesn't own the idea of these things or whatever. And you're doing it while you are one-to-one lifting shit from Horizon Zero Dawn. It's such an asshole move.
I think this falls under a rule that I try and bring up every now and then about the legal process, which is a rule that I think judges should be able to use every now and then, which is called the get the fuck out of here rule, where every now and then judges get the ability to go, get the fuck out of here.
So
what are you talking about?
Unfortunately, what you're describing does not exist in all places, but New York State does have a frivolous lawsuit law where you can basically, a part of a countersuit can be that you can determine that the person filing it was frivolous and was wasting everybody's time, and then they would have to pay all the damages and pay for the cost of lawyers and pay for wasting everyone's time, and it's really expensive if you try to be a litigious asshole for no reason, right? Now, in this type of instance, it's just funny because, like, they're standing here smugly smirking and going like, what are you talking about? This is totally original, you know. And at the same time, by the way, right after Pokopia got announced, Pal World announced Pal Farm.
Yeah, man, it's fucking different. Don't you see? Don't you see how different it is? It's so different.
Fucking Christ. Really
funny.
All right. Anyways, y'all, let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Can you see how much stronger this dog is getting now that he's hungry?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Those eyes are bigger and wider than I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's horrible. Aren't they ugly? Oh, he's so ugly. I love you.
Treasure Vault asks, Dear Grandpa and Pop Pop, swords are lame, hammers are rad. Which is best? Clubs are also accepted. Contenders include what's the best hammer? Contenders include Leto's Great Hammer from Dark Souls 3, makes you flip and do big smashes. Smelter Hammer or Drumstick from DS2, Pancaker of Problems. The Monster Hunter Hammer charges up a big hit. Kirby Hammer solves all problems. Lies of P Wrench Head on the Police Baton handle will carry you through the whole game. Yeah. What's best hammer? I have a absolute soft spot and super love in my heart for the Kirby hammer. That fucking mallet is beautiful. I also think Mjolnir is pretty cool, you know, because of the stylishness of the fact that you can make it come back to you. But I always felt that, like, the big old fantasy hammers of Big Smash, like, that's cool and all, but a real Warhammer with, like, a small head and a spike on the back is dope as fuck. And I feel like real Warhammers are not represented enough. And I think that they're versatile weapons that are very scary and terrifying because of the point of putting all that force on a particular small point is really threatening. And I think those are cool as a polearm. So I want to see more real Warhammers.
I'm gonna give a tie between the Thunderhammer from Warhammer, the 40k version, the one that Space Marines used to hit fucking demons in the face with,
Okay.
and Bloodborne's Boom Hammer, which is essentially just a gunpowder charge that hitting the enemy with causes it to ignite and explode.
That's good. Yeah. Nope, that's sick. Does anyone have any, are there, like, yeah, I'm just like, I feel like there's the polearm, Souls games had the polearm hammer at some point, right? There's a couple of those, but it's pretty rare. Yeah. Anyway, those are good. Those are good.
I'm also gonna say sketchy looking guy on the street with a regular hammer.
A regular tool hammer from Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
This is also a problem.
That's also like a really cool hammer.
That's a that is an issue you have to deal with. And I would put that aura as threatening as a big old dwarf with a big old fucking giant,
absolutely
big as me hammer as well. True stuff. All right, that'll do it.
All right, everybody have a good week.
Take care.